How do you stay so lean? Well, I walk everywhere. I ride bike in the summer. I ride bike whenever the weather is permittable and if I'm in the mood. I have a high metabolism. I walk everywhere. I ride bike. I walk everywhere. I ride bike. I walk everywhere. How do you stay so lean? Well, I ride bike whenever the weather is permittable. How do you stay so lean? Well, I ride bike whenever the weather is permittable. I have a high metabolism. Well, I have a high metabolism. God damn it. I walk everywhere. I ride bike. I walk everywhere. I ride bike. How do you stay so lean? Well, I ride bike whenever the weather is permittable. How do you stay so lean? Well, I ride bike whenever the weather is permittable. I have a high metabolism. Well, I have a high metabolism. God damn it. I walk everywhere. I ride bike. I walk everywhere. I ride bike. Dude, totally needs a new hat. You have an alcohol problem and you need to address that. Nope, I like the way my hat is shaped. It fits my head just comfortably. Yeah, I have such an alcohol problem and I'm not drinking right now. Kiss my ass. How do you stay so lean? Well, I ride bike whenever the weather is permittable. How do you stay so lean? Well, I ride bike whenever the weather is permittable. I have a high metabolism. Well, I have a high metabolism. God damn it. I walk everywhere. I ride bike. I walk everywhere. I ride bike. How do you stay so lean? Well, I ride bike whenever the weather is permittable. How do you stay so lean? Well, I ride bike whenever the weather is permittable. I have a high metabolism. Well, I have a high metabolism. God damn it. I walk everywhere. I ride bike. I walk everywhere. I ride bike.
Hello. Thank you for joining me today. I think what we're gonna do is look at some high-speed chases. I have a couple downloaded so that hopefully we don't have the same buffering problem as last time. Most of these are in California around the LA area because, of course, most of the videos from there are uploaded because there are more chases there than anywhere else.
Yeah, they're falling into tracking mode now. LAPD putting this into tracking mode with several units still, lights and sirens, about a quarter mile back, and the helicopter doing the call out here with the night sun on that suspect as he continues to weave through traffic here at a high rate of speed. Just a moment ago, possibly saw some hands coming from the sunroof. This started in LAPD's Rampart Division, traversed the streets of downtown LA, tried to get lost in the buildings, and then ended up on the 110 freeway, south to the 10 freeway. We are now westbound on the 10 freeway, making our way towards West LA. La Cienega, crossing La Cienega now. CHP getting into position, LAPD ready to hand this off to the California Highway Patrol. Once they are ready, they have fallen back, LAPD, giving the responsibilities to the airship until CHP gets into position here. They're going to hand this off and let CHP take it over. We do not know how many people are inside this vehicle. He's getting into a little bit of traffic here, making his way through Culver City, westbound on the 10 freeway. Let me see, is Sky Map up or no? There you go. Westbound 10 through Fairfax, LAPD falling back, still waiting for those CHP units to get behind him, having difficulty trying to catch up here, showing signs of either exiting or just using that right shoulder there to get around traffic. You can see him really speeding past all of these other cars on that shoulder.
Usually they'll just use the shoulder to get around people.
For any of these brake lights here as he continues towards the 405 freeway. Still doing about 100 miles per hour, westbound 10 freeway in the Palms area, heading towards the 405 freeway. A little more traffic as he gets closer to the coast here. It does start to slow down in Santa Monica as we look up ahead here. CHP trying to get into position to pull up behind the suspect and take over this pursuit. LAPD still following from the air. They have pulled back a little bit on the ground. They have put this into tracking mode. These were LAPD Rampart and Central Division units who initiated this pursuit of a stolen Infiniti. Unknown number of occupants inside the vehicle, and the driving that we've seen here.
I didn't know the Infiniti could get that fast. I knew that Chargers could get up there going like 120, 130, but that really surprises me.
Just in the last few minutes since we've caught up with this pursuit has been extreme speeds and erratic weaving across all lanes of the 10 freeway. Getting off of Centinela. Westbound 10 freeway, getting off at Centinela at a high rate of speed, taking that exit ramp really fast. Coming up on a red light here, making a right turn.
I bet he scared the hell out of the person on the ramp.
Right turn onto Centinela. That's Pico. That's actually Pico, I think. Now southbound. Westbound Pico underneath the freeway. Is he going to dump the vehicle? Dumping the vehicle. Might be dumping the vehicle. He has come to a stop underneath that freeway. There he is. There he is. Oh! Colliding with that.
Man
and he still continues to keep going.
Man just got a pit maneuver by a fucking civilian.
Swipes the front of that white car, now going underneath the freeway once again, coming out the other side. We thought he was going to get out of the car, and he decided to cut somebody off. A big collision there as he is now turned onto that's going to be Centinela. Back onto Centinela. Might have dropped somebody off there, but he did take contact.
The combination
there.
Of the ability of the driver and the durability of the car always amazes me in these. I do watch these quite a bit in my own private time, and I critique them quite a bit. The smaller cars are really good for continuing to drive after the pit. The pit maneuver is designed to like disable your car. I've seen a few like Ford Explorers get away with it too, but the bigger you are, you like flip over.
Colliding with a car at the intersection at the end of that exit ramp. And now he's on Centinela at Ocean Park Boulevard, continuing a high rate of speed through the Ocean Park area here. Look at this. Whoa, hard right into a secure area, taking that curb really way too fast into a parking lot. Not sure what business this is. He's in a secure private property. He went right through the gate, weaving through this parking lot, about to dump the vehicle. Maybe showing.
Did he come to a dead end?
Signs of stopping here, trying to look for a hiding spot. Passenger and driver side door. Passenger reaching into the rear seat, pulling out a bag. Two suspects on the run from this vehicle through private property. LAPD.
Where do they think they're going to go in this building? Like, yeah, obviously there's going to be a ton of people, but they're going to recognize that those two people aren't supposed to be there.
calling it out, trying to get units in position here in front of a commercial business. He is right. Is this airport property? He's on Santa Monica Airport property. We are on airport property in Santa Monica. What building is that? Can you push in on that? What sign is that? Okay. Running back towards the car?
What sign is that?
Units trying to get into position here. Officers with the guns drawn coming around the other side of the building. Have now been spotted on the other side of the building.
Well, get to the other side of the building so we can see it.
We're going to come around this building here where officers have their guns pointed at somebody. Driver possibly spotted in the rear of the building. There he is. That's the driver.
I don't think that's the driver. That looks like a white guy.
Appears to be the driver of that stolen vehicle, now being taken into custody.
I could totally be wrong, though.
The passenger still on the run out here as far as we could tell. Passenger now proned out. Let's try and widen
I was most definitely wrong. My bad.
out here in just a second, and we'll see on the southwest corner of the building, officers now taking a second suspect into custody. Officers running through the parking lot.
Very nice observation.
There he is. Proned out. Suspect proned out. That is the second suspect. Second suspect proned out in the parking lot. Two suspects about to be placed under arrest after a high-speed chase through the streets of downtown LA, eventually onto the 10 freeway here in Santa Monica, ending right at the airport. Santa Monica Airport off of Ocean Park Boulevard, LAPD taking the driver and passenger into custody. We saw a pretty wild collision there. Nobody appeared to get hurt there, but there was at least one traffic accident, and then he really took a wild turn into this private property, a commercial zone at Santa Monica Airport, where this pursuit has come to an end.
Unfortunately, a lot of these end up in a situation like this where they're just like going down roads that they don't know and they end up at a dead end.
Had two suspects being taken into custody. That'll do it for this pursuit, but a wild chase here on a Tuesday night. Reporting live from Air 7, I'm Chris Christie, ABC 7 Eyewitness News.
I have a little playlist of these, so there's going to be another one coming up at the end.
That might be why he's slowing down, refusing to pull over, but erratic behavior we haven't seen just yet.
Very slow driving now, but there you see the traffic in front of him. Perhaps considering pulling over. You would always hope in this circumstance, but you never know.
And a long line of LAPD vehicles behind him. So they are hoping this stays as safe as possible. And he just seems to be kind of slowly maneuvering from.
All right, we got a rare instance of a slow speed chase going down the highway here. And it looks like, I'm assuming it's this work van. A lot of people steal work vans, which is very interesting to me because, like, other than tools that you could pawn, there's not a lot of valuable stuff going on there. You can't, like, hawk the car for a whole lot.
Bring from one lane to the next, but nothing specific to tell of right now.
Yeah, left the carpool lane, now on the far right side of the lane. I'm not sure what exits are coming up here, but this is a North Hollywood area right now. see if we can get a locator.
I think we're
Victory
passing
Boulevard. Okay.
Victory. We just passed Burbank, so he might. Where is he? He seems to be staying locked in traffic. So
Maybe not. It seems to be this guy.
this could be a process, though, that we're watching. We're not sure. He doesn't seem bent on getting away, but he's not pulling over.
Yeah, and strange, you see that window there on the passenger side, on the driver's side. I don't know, it looks like a boarded up kind of window or something that's hard to say what we're looking at.
That with the tinted windows makes it
Are you poor shaming this person that fixed their window?
difficult to see inside. We do know, obviously, there's the driver who is the one that they suspect could be armed. We don't know if there are other people within this. And this isn't something that revolves around something that just happened. We don't think it might be somebody that they have been looking for, and now the pursuit is underway.
Yeah, and that complete stop right now was traveling about 50.
People do this a lot, where if they see someone is being followed, they'll just like stop in the middle. And I understand that they're like trying to be good Samaritans and whatnot, but there's too much danger to not enough gain to doing that. So like, assume you're doing this and this person is like, fuck you, I'm going to go ahead and shoot you. Your family's not going to be given money from the police department. There's no point in doing this.
About 50 miles an hour just a moment ago, now getting back over in a faster lane and taking what's not very fast though. Still very
just 20
slow.
miles an hour. He's staying with traffic and staying largely within his lane and not being very erratic. It's all started, let's see, in the Rampart.
Yeah, 101 at Cahuenga.
LAPD Rampart started on this, on the Cahuenga, near Hollywood.
Yeah, northbound on 101 Cahuenga, Hollywood, and now going through Burbank and traveling very slowly. We're not sure.
I wish that this started earlier in the race. I'm not sure if they're just like trying to be slow to pretend that they're not the car they're looking for, or if the car is like, I don't want to say injured because it's not a person, but like fucked up in any way to why it's going so slow.
Or what?
Up to 101.
We haven't heard if there's one person in this vehicle or more than one. We haven't heard any information yet.
Trying to get a better idea of what's going on here. So he went up the 101 from Hollywood, then onto the 170, and that's where he joins us right now. As you can see, he's approaching Sherman Way exit. Just past that, and hanging in the North Hollywood area.
Yeah, and I'm trying to remember when you go to the 170, where it takes you eventually, or the 118.
Potentially.
Yeah. No, I mean, where does this? I'm trying to remember the freeway system here. That's the 170. I don't travel on that one very often.
So he's trying to maneuver his way through the lanes, only going 9-10 miles per hour. So he's hit rush hour. So they're just going to be content on following him through the traffic.
So one question I have is, if this is somebody that's from this area, why would they choose this specific time to do it? If they like live there, I would presume they know when rush hour is going to be. Why would you commit a crime where you were going to have to run from the cops during rush hour?
Okay, he's pulling over to the right-hand side. Other cars are pulling over as well, and he's just kind of blending in, but clearly it is the minivan right there that they're pursuing, a kind of a gold silver color.
Yeah, this would be one of those slower pursuits. Not much he can do.
And not
traffic.
Not much we could say either, except for
exactly.
watching this guy meander through the freeway right now at 13-14 miles per hour on the 170 again, as he's coming up on the Sherman Way. I thought he passed it already, but the Sherman Way exit is what's coming up in North Hollywood.
And all we know about this suspect is that it's a shooting. Responding to it. Wait, this is
right.
Yeah.
Can you see in there? Is there another person?
There. It doesn't look like there's someone in the passenger seat.
A little bit of a shot there from. Oh, There's something else. Is it a dog?
Jeez.
Oh my god, I hate it when there's a dog involved. I really hope nothing bad happens. Now I have to watch it all the way to the end because I have to make sure the dog's okay.
There's something there in the passenger side seat. If you look closely.
Right.
All right, we're going to push in right here and try to get an idea. There is something else in the vehicle. I think it's his dog.
Oh dear.
Could be a little dog. See that little white near the middle of the windshield?
Yep. Oh, you're right. Going just going 10 miles an hour on the one.
I don't know if that's actually a dog. Let me zoom in on that. Oh, it won't actually let me zoom in the video. All right. I'm hoping that that's just like the suction cup of a GPS thing or like trash sitting there. I really hope there's not a dog involved.
On the 170 freeway right now through North Hollywood.
All right. Well, he's not being violent or erratic, or just staying within his lane. And
Okay, I guess the desk is saying right now that that is a dog, David. Good eye.
okay. Well, a small dog with him. We haven't seen any other humans, but we can't see the back seat either. So, and then whatever that is blocking the view, we're probably not going to see what's in the back of that van. Nevertheless, just to give you an idea, this is considered a very dangerous situation because this is a person who is believed to be some sort of a shooting suspect. We don't know what the incident was or when it happened or the result of that shooting, but they are saying that this could be an armed person in this van.
How
So
many
you could
cop cars do we need for someone driving so slow? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm assuming there may be more out of shot.
see the line of LAPD vehicles up behind them. They're going very slowly up the 170 freeway from North Hollywood now into Sun Valley. And they're just going to continue to follow him and see what happens.
Yeah, yeah, you can. I think there was a couple cars. They must hear all the sirens because you see a lot of the cars just pulling over to the side of the road, the shoulder of the road, to just let him pass by.
Lights and sirens, so they're probably all at least hearing them coming. Yep. Very slow pursuit going on right now, but that's simply because of the traffic.
So this van looks a little bit beat up already. I'm wondering if he's staying at a slow speed as to not like overheat the car.
It is unusual. I don't remember the last time we've had a shooting suspect with a little dog in his
in a minivan.
Someone in a minivan.
Right, exactly.
But the person is not pulling over, so something is up when it comes to this.
And there's just too much traffic in that area right now to do any type of pit maneuver. Just sort of have to follow him closely, and you see that patrol car there.
The LAPD has a lot stricter rules on pit maneuvers than other places, like for instance the Arkansas State Police. When they're going at high enough speeds, a pit can flip a car and like send it flipping for like hundreds of feet. I've seen the Arizona State or not Arizona, the Arkansas State Police flip. They did a pit maneuver on a car going 120 miles an hour, and that shit was insane. I think the LAPD has rules where they can't do anything over like 38 miles an hour.
Closing a little bit of that gap a bit.
Okay. We're getting a little bit more information from the scanners that they believe this may be a female suspect inside the vehicle.
I'm not a super big cop simp, but the Arkansas State Police has this like thick butch like lesbian on there that I would simp the hardest for.
Okay.
With the dog.
You know, it seems like we've seen more and more of these pursuits with a female suspect, and
yeah.
I remember a time where it was majority was men in these in this.
This is all. Keep in mind, this is preliminary information, so we're just kind of gathering what we can when it comes to the suspect and the fact that this person is not pulling over may be an indication of something. Maybe they know who this person is. We assume that they do, considering the information that we have right now.
Okay, so 170 and the exit to the 10 Roscoe Boulevard. Let's find out if he's going to stay on the 170 going north or exit to the 10.
That would be the next.
Okay.
That would be the next exit.
Yeah.
So moving towards the 5. This is all in Sun Valley. If you know this area, then you probably have been, and if you travel this area, then you probably have gotten stuck on the 170 before when it comes to the sticky traffic. As you could see, this person who's driving this vehicle.
Yeah, no traffic coming the other way, really.
There's no speed going on.
Oh, no, never mind. I think they've all gotten the heads up for the sirens.
She's trying to bypass that sticky spot in that intersection, and now she's going straight through.
It's still going under 30 miles an hour.
Yeah.
Curious.
Largely, her driving has been relatively safe, even though she is refusing to give up. All right, so she's still on Arleta Avenue in Arleta, approaching Bracken Street. 30
I'll be back in like 2 minutes.
miles per hour. There you can see kind of the construction on the side of the road. I'm not sure if they're able to get somebody ahead to do a spike strip. That would be.
Yep. Started a half hour
opportunity.
ago at 101 at Cahuenga in Hollywood. They believe it's a reported shooting suspect. Two victims in Echo Park shot. And then this suspect, a female, in the driver's seat with a dog in the passenger seat, and just slowly trying to get away from officers, but not going very fast at all, just doing a slow speed pursuit in this situation and wondering where she's going.
Very slowly. All right, so staying on Arleta Street, 25 miles per hour, basically. Let's see if he or she will choose to pull over again, going very slow. Okay, that's why. There's some traffic ahead. On the sidewalk? No, that is some sort of a car wash, just cutting through as she gets on, it looks like Osborne Street in Arleta. Now traveling down Osborne Street, 20 miles per hour. And just kind of meandering through the area. So keep in mind, this is a person
All right, so another option for it going so slow other than overheating is I'm wondering if they're low on gas. That obviously may be wrong because this is an hour and 8 minutes, but I don't know. I'm trying to come up with reasons why they're going so slow.
as almost comical as this seems, this is a person that is regarded as very dangerous, who may have just shot 2 people, and they believe that this is a female driver that is armed. So they're handling her very delicately. So far, no aggressive maneuvers by LAPD to get her to stop, either with a pit maneuver or some sort of a spike strip. But perhaps that opportunity will come in the coming minutes, considering how...
I don't know how well a spike strip's going to do, because even if you hit the tires, they're going so slow, they're going to be able to maintain quite a bit of control over the vehicle.
slow this person is driving.
All right, David Ono, thank you. And Ellen Leva, thank you for your coverage of this pursuit happening right now in the Hollywood area. This is Giovanna Latta along with Mark Brown. We are starting Eyewitness News here at 5 and continuing our live coverage of this pursuit that is underway. As you've heard from David and Ellen, this suspect is considered armed and dangerous. They are a shooting suspect. We believe 2 people were shot.
So there's, look at all this, and they were able to just so casually and slowly drive away, and they keep going at like 30 miles an hour.
People reportedly shot in Echo Park, and as we watch this person driving slowly and meandering, even using her blinkers, they believe it is a female. They believe it's a woman.
Not the blinkers.
behind the wheel. The driving is sedate, and if anything, calm, but the crime for which she is accused is anything but. 2 people shot in Echo Park, and they believe this is the person who did it. And police in LAPD's Rampart Division are the ones who initiated this pursuit right around the Hollywood Freeway and Cahuenga. And the driver got on the 101, headed northbound, then got on the 170, continuing northbound. Now continuing on the 5 freeway. Got off the 170 for a little bit, driving around, and then getting back on the 5 now at Terabella. This is the Pacoima area of Los Angeles, still within the LAPD's jurisdiction. We haven't seen any indication that the CHP has joined this.
Yeah, this is the LAPD.
Something that happens a lot with these is they tend to stick around the same area. That may be why the LAPD has been within jurisdiction this whole time.
Rampart Division following her, and has been a very...
Oh my God, I'm an idiot. Hold on.
Cars approach her. We saw officers get out of their patrol cars and start to approach the minivan that she was in, and then she made a U-turn and came at those patrol officers and weaved through a couple of cars to get past them. And that is really the only significant activity that we have witnessed firsthand. But again, we do believe, we are told that she is armed and dangerous, so authorities are continuing to follow her. She is not driving erratically. She's not driving at high speeds. She's not weaving in and out of lanes.
Yeah, Chris Christie is overhead now in Air 7 to give us more on kind of what's ahead, what the traffic's...
I absolutely love Chris Christie. He gets so excited about these. He sounds like he's about to bust at any moment.
situation looks like, and more on this pursuit. Chris.
Yeah, it's a rush hour pursuit. Very light traffic up the 5 freeway now, approaching the 118 freeway. Serious crimes prompting a serious response and serious resources by CHP, who is pursuing this woman up the 5 freeway. I've counted at least 6 or 7 black and whites. There's also an LAPD helicopter circling this pursuit, calling out the location. There is also a major police presence at Echo Park, where this crime believed to be related to this pursuit is taking place, or has taken place. A possible shooting suspect behind the wheel of this minivan. A woman behind the wheel with a dog inside of the car. You can see there's a very dark tinted window in the middle there, but right there in the driver's seat, you could just barely make out the driver. We're going to try and get a better angle here once we come around the 118 freeway. And we'll see if we can get a better glimpse inside the front window.
I really wish they would stop talking about this dog being inside the car. I really wish they would stop talking about this dog being in the car. I absolutely hate it when dogs are involved, and it makes me so anxious.
In terms of people, I should say, there is what it looks almost like a little pug who's on the center console there. Very composed driving. It's been relatively sedate, I think is the word you use, Mark. I would say that's very descriptive there, and that's very accurate. So, not dangerous driving, but definitely a very serious criminal on the run here from law enforcement. Again, up the Cahuenga Pass onto the 170, kind of moving through Arleta, and then eventually finding her way back onto the freeway. But the northbound 5 freeway has much less traffic than she was encountering on the 170. I think she just hit a little bit of a traffic jam that kind of prompted that little exit off of the 170. She is encountering much less traffic on the 5 freeway, but as she comes up on the 405,
they had to go ahead and put in the little cliff notes here that there's a dog in the passenger seat. Oh my God, the news is clickbaiting.
That's going to change here in the next mile and a half as she gets up towards the split and all the way up to the Newhall Pass. If she takes this in through San Fernando, she's going to be hitting the brakes here in just a minute. So we'll see if the driving changes here, if she chooses to get off of the freeway. Right now, they are not going to let this go. This is a very violent crime, apparently, that she is wanted for. Again, we believe or have
Being involved is in a shooting is a very violent crime, apparently.
reason to believe that this is indeed related to a shooting, a double shooting at that, in Echo Park, guys.
Yeah, I'd like to hear more about the backstory on what was involved in that shooting. 2 people shot reportedly in Echo Park. We don't know their conditions right now. We don't know what connection, if any, this driver had to that shooting or the people involved. But the driver taking off, a woman with a dog in the front seat. We don't know if there are any other people, as you mentioned, Chris, that would
Please stop with the dog. I would rather another person be in the car.
be in that van. And all we know is that this person's on the run and refusing to give up, but not driving at high speeds.
Not driving at high.
That's right.
Go ahead.
Sorry.
Go ahead, Chris.
Yeah, I was just noticing, some of the speeds that she's been traveling at, even on surface streets, really provided an opportunity for a pit maneuver. But if she's armed with a firearm, that will play into their decision making, and they will be much more conservative and less likely to use that.
So one of the few things I haven't seen is a pit on a van. I've seen pits on SUVs. I've seen pits on like U-Haul trucks. I've even seen a pit on an RV, but I've not seen a pit on a mom van.
Maneuver tactic, unless the watch commander decides that's the best course of option. But that is definitely a judgment call on the part of the supervisors and watch commanders at CHP. Right now, though, she is doing below freeway speeds on the freeway here, but still on the freeway, it becomes a much dicier situation unless they have a solid traffic break, which they do behind her. There's nobody that's going to come up behind her. The problem, as you can see here, as she comes up on the split, is all of the cars in front of her. They are not any longer in a position where they would ever execute a pit maneuver. They're going to have to wait for a much more less trafficked either freeway, or if she gets off on a surface street, then maybe they might reevaluate. But with a gun, a possible firearm in the car, and especially if they don't know, they probably know more than we know, freeway, and now we'll be on surface streets where they will have more decisions to make here in Sylmar.
It ups the ante. Every
Oh
time
wow,
she
we
gets
go
on
to the
surface
dark
streets,
time.
that changes things. There could be cross traffic. There could be a collision. There could be somebody crossing the street, a pedestrian. There are all sorts of other elements that you introduce once they get off the freeway and everybody's going in the same direction versus onto a surface street like this where there's cross traffic and pedestrians involved as well. So you see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10,
Jesus.
11. And I think these are
We got
all
11
LAPD units.
piggies.
Is that correct?
These are CHP. There's a combination of CHP.
Ooh, we're
and
pulling
LAPD,
over. I don't believe it though.
officers here.
Oh my god,
Now pulling over.
that is a dog.
Now
I'm
pulling over,
ugh.
and has come to a complete stop at Yarnell Street. And it looks like they are prepared to execute a felony stop here. The dog in the passenger seat, the driver with her arms on the steering wheel, hands and arms on the steering wheel, moving again.
Yep. She had lowered the window.
Why would you run with a sweet baby in the car? Like, obviously, if you're running, there's a reason to run. But if you have the dog in the car, just don't do it.
These are LAPD
I
officers.
Yes.
I would pull over anyways if I was being pulled over. But if I were to run, I would not do it with the dog in the car.
Yeah, Rampart. Yeah, those are the Rampart units right there. At least that primary unit is from Rampart. And now it looks, is she getting back on, Rob? Is that getting back on the freeway? Getting back on the 210 West. So now heading back towards the 5 freeway. She's done a reverse course here on the 210 freeway, now heading back towards the 5 freeway. We'll see what she decides to do here, but she was not willing to give it up there. And LAPD Obviously, putting a lot of pressure on here. You counted the mark, close to a dozen black and whites. You know, a typical pursuit, maybe
So do you know the reason behind the term black and whites? Anybody?
3 or 4. That's about normal. Once you see more than that, especially 10 or 12, you know it's a whole different ball game. In fact, many times they will intentionally limit the number of pursuits in the pursuit for safety's sake. And right now, they are dedicating a lot of resources. There is no, safety is not a concern at these speeds. Obviously, very manageable speeds. But those officers in the pursuit have a number of different things that each officer can be doing, including creating traffic breaks in front. If there's an opportunity to set up a spike strip ahead, which you're not going to see on the freeway, especially a busy freeway on a Thursday afternoon. But everybody's got a job here, and once they come to a stop and execute that felony stop, that's when everybody kicks into action and takes up position behind that vehicle. So right now you can see traffic slowing down there on the 5 freeway as she now merges onto the Golden State Park freeway.
Yeah. And sometimes we'll see patrol cars pull back when the driver of a pursuit is driving erratically and at high speeds and weaving in and out of traffic. Sometimes they will pull back for the safety of the community, of the other motorists on the road. They're not doing that now because, again, she is driving in a measured manner. But it's likely it has something to do with the crime.
That is something that I find interesting. So the theory behind the not following when someone's driving erratically is that they're not going to drive as erratically, which under regular logic that would be the case. But if somebody thinks they're being followed, even if they don't see the cops behind them, they're going to drive so erratically because if you run, I'm going to guess typically you're high. Not all of them obviously are going to do that. So I'm guessing they're not going to be in the right state of mind when that's happening. So they're going to continue to drive erratically even when the cops are no longer in their sight.
Crime, the initial reported crime of 2 people being shot. And they may have other information about this driver that we don't know. They could be in contact with this driver. Family members may be in contact with the driver. They may just want to, keep this strategy of slow and go.
Slow and go.
Yeah.
I am wondering, like I'm sure many of you are at home, about the condition of the people who were shot in Echo Park and what the circumstances were.
I know this sounds bitter, but I am not really concerned with the condition of the actual crime that happened. I'm more concerned with the condition of this car.
Around that shooting, was it a home, a business, some public area, private area? Where it happened, what happened, and our assignment desk is working diligently right now trying to get those answers from the LA Police Department to see what exactly happened there. That would be the Rampart Division where it happened. So in fact, if you look to the right here, that apparently is the crime scene there. So it looks like it was in a park, and you see the yellow tape there, indicative of a pretty big crime.
Yeah. Perimeter that they're investigating.
Right. So we're going to try to. Okay. And traffic still going by.
I'm really surprised there's not more people out there gawking.
That's apparently where it happened. No bodies that are there that are visible. So that would indicate that whoever was there has been transported, taken to the hospital. But the investigation is underway. There would be evidence left behind. And the officers are going to go over that. Detectives will pore over that and try to get more information about this. But yeah, that's the scene where it happened. That is quite a distance away from where we find ourselves now, which is on the 5 freeway in Granada Hills, still in the city of Los Angeles, but going farther and farther north and getting deeper and deeper into typical LA rush hour traffic.
All right, so they obviously hang out further north if that's where they're hanging out right now.
It is interesting that the CHP has not joined this pursuit, to my knowledge, that we can see, and that the LAPD is the lead agency and so far the only agency. It is within the the city of Los Angeles, but also, of course, on the freeways, which would make it the.
So I kind of wish my partner was awake right now because he kind of hyperfixate on gangs and he knows all of the so usually when we're watching this he'll tell me like who runs each area that the person's driving in, and I'm wondering who the area they're hanging out in is belonging to.
Make it the highway patrol's bailiwick. So we will see if any sort of transfer happens or whether they are content to continue things as they are.
Yeah. Again, still on the I-5 northbound, in the Newhall area now. Chris, are you still there with us?
Yeah, so she had the opportunity. I'm sorry, we were just listening to the radio traffic. She had the opportunity to get onto the 14 freeway. We are now in the Santa Clarita Valley, but she is now committed to the 5 freeway. So she has bypassed the 14 split. She is on the 5 freeway. The sun is beginning to set here, so they're going to be relying pretty soon here in a few more minutes. They will be relying on that night sun that you occasionally see rolling through the shot there, compliments of that LAPD airship. Again, this is indeed an LAPD pursuit, CHP monitoring, but right now LAPD has their suspect in sight. This is a.
I wonder why the highway patrol isn't getting involved. Like I suppose they are technically hanging around just the LAPD jurisdiction, but at any point in time, California Highway Patrol could come take this over, and they could like let LAPD not do their job in other areas of the city.
The woman's cell phone. Are they able to get a crisis negotiator on the line with her potentially? What is her state of mind? Is she under the influence? Stuff like that. Perhaps even a domestic violence situation. If they can confirm that, like you mentioned, Giovanna, that will give them more clues into how to deal with this and how to talk some sense into this person if they can get a hold of her. But obviously, she is not in her right frame of mind right now. She is fleeing from a dozen LAPD officers in the Santa Clarita Valley. Now we have now left LAPD's jurisdiction, mind you. We are now in LA County's jurisdiction on the 5 freeway, which is the jurisdiction of the California Highway Patrol. Not a problem. LAPD will stay on this if they choose to. There are plenty of resources, though, available to assist. There is mutual aid.
I wonder how that radio conversation is going, because you know they're talking to each other through the dispatch.
On the 5 freeway, ready to get involved in the event that local law enforcement needs their help. So right now, LAPD has plenty of resources.
That's kind of why I prefer the dash cam videos, because you can hear the audio from dispatch talking to each of the agencies.
A suspect that's going to get very far. They will take this all the way until she runs out of gas, quite frankly.
All right. Well, we are going to watch this along with all of you. We don't know if a spike strip has been employed or might be employed, but if there is, and it was done successfully, the evidence of that will be pretty apparent and fairly soon. So we're just watching this.
Looking to see if her tires appear to be impacted.
The tires look fine right now. I don't see anything wrong with them.
I'm not seeing anything right now, but I am noticing that traffic is pretty light.
Mm-hmm.
It's moving, which makes it safer.
Yeah, makes it safer. I mean, if there are fewer people around.
Yeah.
As we watch this, you know, with a spike strip, of course, the deflation of the tires would not be immediate.
They are really getting lucky driving as slow as they are around as many people as they are, because if there was like a decent gap of space, they would be taken out by a pit, I'm assuming.
Getting out word now from the highway patrol that they in fact did employ a spike strip, and she did in fact hit it. So
Okay, take a look there. Take a look. Take a look at that front left. That front left
Okay,
tire.
now we can
There
see
is
it.
something dangling behind the backside of the fender, and that wheel. While the vehicle appears to be driving nominally, that front left tire it looks interesting. I
Does it
think
appear
that
a
it would
little
have
wobbly?
deflated by now. If it
What do you mean it looks interesting? It looks
was a clean
fine.
hit, it probably would have deflated. In fact, what I saw dangling is it still? Yeah,
I think it's
some
part of the
piece
body.
either looks like a piece of molding
Yeah.
from that front fender that's kind of
Yeah.
dangling there.
What are you even talking
So,
about?
yeah, it'll be interesting. I guess if they did make contact with it, you would imagine if it was a good spike, you would start to see those tires deflate by now.
If it was a good spike, that
The
tire would already
vehicle
be coming
change
off
a little
and
bit, but
you'd be
I'm
seeing
just
sparks.
not seeing it. And, it could be if she is low on air. I mean, it could be why she is traveling at these relatively tame speeds. She's not going fast, but she's not going slow either.
I wonder if the whole time she's been on like a spare tire and that's why she's driving so slow. She's going quicker now, but
It's a gradual process. What they don't want to do when they use a spike strip, it's designed this way, as you know, Chris, to not cause a blowout, but to cause a gradual deflation of the tires. A blowout is dangerous, tire deflation much less so. And the idea is to make the vehicle much, much harder to drive, much, much harder to maneuver, and then the driver eventually gives up. We've seen it literally dozens of times.
The spikes on that strip are literally little tubes that are injected through the tire and the inner tire and eventually just allow the air to slowly deflate. So it's a gradual process, as you're talking about, Mark, and one that usually would have happened by now, although I don't know where they executed that spike strip. It must have been before we picked it up, but I don't know. I haven't seen any sign of a spike strip on the freeway, that's for sure.
absolutely not. If a spike strip actually hit the tire before they caught up to this person 40 minutes ago, they would be throwing sparks on a rim right now. Get out of my face, Chris Christie.
Yeah,
It must have happened maybe when she got off the 170, perhaps. I don't know.
That spotlight we saw just a moment ago, is that a helicopter? Is that a law enforcement helicopter?
That is LAPD.
Yeah.
Was right overhead. It's actually fallen back a little bit. You can see that night sun towards the tail end of the pursuit. He's probably there he goes. He's aiming it right back on her.
Right.
Sometimes, and that could change as the sun goes down and they need that night sun more. But sometimes, the night sun can agitate the driver. It's a very helpful tool.
Absolutely, the night sun could agitate the driver because they know they're being chased. Like, obviously, I know they need it to see where they're going because they're doing their job, but how can they expect them to not be more agitated in their driving if they got a fucking huge spotlight on them? I'll be back in 2 minutes.
Maintain a visual. It's also helpful in letting other motorists know that there is police activity, as if the lights and sirens weren't enough. They definitely know once there's a big shiny night sun on them that something's coming up behind them. Right. In this case, you can see as it gets darker, they're looking to keep that night sun on her. It is a tricky thing. People think it's easy to point that light. It is not easy. It takes a lot of practice. These guys are experts. They do it every single night. But CHP is now apparently getting ready to get involved in this pursuit. So apparently, LAPD, in all likelihood, I cannot confirm this, but in all likelihood, if they're getting ready to pick it up, that means LAPD has asked for assistance and is able to hand this off to let the state troopers do their job and bringing this to an end.
And Chris,
it is their jurisdiction. LAPD could stay on it, or they could bring all those resources back to the city. Right now, you've got a dozen officers from Rampart that are now well outside of the city and might be very well needed back in the city. So right now, it sounds like California Highway Patrol is preparing to take this pursuit over, or at least get involved in some way.
And when you guys pulled back, Chris, and we could see the wider view of the freeway, it does appear that they're trying to control traffic and how close
There they come.
the other vehicles.
Oh, they got the guy that is
approaching
authorized to do the
the
pit
suspect
coming up.
vehicle, because they're keeping the cars behind these patrol cars.
They are. You're watching the handoff take place as we speak. There comes CHP. That is the new primary unit in this pursuit. And now LAPD will back off. CHP with 2 units at least in position there. You've got the Challenger, you've got the Interceptor SUV, and others.
The Challenger can go super quick. That's what I thought this was originally when I was looking at it.
They'll keep at least one black and white in the pursuit just to kind of trail behind and eventually.
No, that was the video before this. Never mind.
Bring the suspect back to the city of LA. But you can see California Highway Patrol has now officially taken over the pursuit, and we basically have a brand new pursuit. I say that because the policies change. Once CHP takes it over from a local jurisdiction, you have a whole new set of decisions, a set of decision makers by the supervisors, the watch commanders. A whole new team is now dedicated to bringing this pursuit.
We got a whole new team because we switched jurisdictions
to a peaceful resolution. LAPD backing out, California Highway Patrol taking over with a whole new handbook, if you will, guys.
And again, for those of you just joining us, this is a pursuit of a shooting suspect. 2 people reported who have been shot in the Rampart area of Los Angeles in Echo Park. Started a little before 4:30 this afternoon. 2 people.
They got this damn clickbait dog in the passenger seat again. Oh my lord.
Actually starting to get away from the Santa Clarita Valley, and that will provide CHP even more room on the freeway to get fancy if they want to try a spike strip, or if she slows down enough, even potentially a pit maneuver if they feel that would be a good move in this situation. In any event, whatever happened with that original spike strip does not appear to have had the desired effect.
Right. And if she continues, she will drive north into the Grapevine and down into Bakersfield. And hopefully we hope that it ends before she gets to either one of those areas. And we know this is a Dodge Caravan, and we were given some information that it has a 20-gallon tank, so maybe gas will become a factor at some point.
So yeah, she did have a full tank of gas earlier when I said she may be close to empty.
Yeah, and so will daylight. We still have a little bit of dusk left here, which is going to allow us and the helicopter down there to follow her another couple of miles, a few more miles past Castaic Lake. At some point in the next few minutes, it's going to be pitch black. It's going to be pitch black. The freeway is going to narrow a bit, and it'll be a different ball game. She may lose some of the helicopters. They will. LAPD's got the night vision, so they will keep going. But we probably will have to be shooting it from afar until we lose sight of her. But she is definitely leaving the metro Los Angeles area. She is now exiting Santa Clarita Valley and now basically heading up towards the Grapevine, where she has limited opportunities to exit the freeway, and she does appear to be pretty committed to the northbound 5 freeway.
Well, and from what I've been able to look up in terms, you just brought it up.
She's got quite a bit more space to go if she's going northbound on the 5, because she's in California. So she can go all the way up to the Canadian border, and I don't know how far past that on the 5. If she goes south, she's going to run into Mexico way quicker.
Up how much, how far this pursuit may go. This thing can get 25 miles per gallon highway, and it's been mostly highway miles and at a fairly low speed. So they may be getting all of that 25 miles per gallon. So then the question is that is unknowable to all of us, everybody but the driver, how much gas was in it to begin with.
That's right. We don't know. And we don't know if this is her vehicle or, belonged to someone else. A lot of details that we do not know. We are working on gathering more details about the situation that prompted all of this in Echo Park, that double shooting. Still working to get some information on the conditions of the victims in that initial crime.
There's a spike strip. There's a spike strip. And
All right, guys, we're going to see some sparks soon.
She drove around
so
it.
there was a clear spike strip attempt there. We saw that unit speed by her just a few minutes ago, and sure enough, he was able to set up for a spike strip. This empty section of the freeway provided a perfect opportunity. However, I think she saw it at the very last second. He laid it down. It was a little dark there. You guys might be able to replay it, but I think she went right around it. She used the shoulder to get around it and then got right back around. She is maintaining about 55 miles per hour.
She's real lucky that Maxwell Rosser wasn't there to shoot her 9 times after trying to avoid a spike strip.
Almost wonder if she's got this car on cruise control because the variance of speed. There's another one. That one might have hit.
Yep.
That one might have hit. That one I think did hit. We're going to see this. At least that front left tire, I think, made contact with the spike strip. Now, whether it was effective enough to inject that tube we were talking about, which is the actual spike itself, if that spike made its way into that tire, you're going to see this pursuit come to a gradual end here in the next mile or so. So we'll be watching out for that. Reports from the ground are that it was a good spike. So if they feel they've got a good spike, there come the sparks, and this vehicle is going to start slowing down. That is probably.
Did they just get the front two or the back two?
Grinding that pavement, creating those sparks, and now she is pulling over to the right. Just a moment before she hit that spike strip, she had signaled to get over to the left, and now she is showing signs of potentially giving up here. That vehicle is now slowing down, the tires slowly deflating, and this hopefully will end with a peaceful resolution. But obviously, there are so many ways this could end. We just don't want to speculate yet. But obviously, I think we're getting close to the end of this pursuit.
Yeah, and the CHP officers have to be just so careful in this situation if she does eventually stop, because they understand that she is armed with a handgun. And if the reports are accurate, she has used that handgun today to injure 2 other people. So they do not know her mindset. And it's very dark. This is a tough one.
Mm-hmm.
She's going to blast at him.
It really does appear like. Go ahead. Sorry, go ahead.
No, I was just going to say, right off the bat, they know they're dealing with an attempted murder suspect. And when somebody, a criminal of that nature, a violent criminal, is wanted for that crime, you know, that those officers have to take extra caution. I'm sorry, Mark, I didn't mean to interrupt.
No, not at all. I'm just trying to see if we can get a read on the tires. Now it looks like the night sun has been kind of removed from it. I don't know if
that
that's
front
a
tire's
tactical.
flat.
Yeah, the front tires.
Where'd the
flat.
night sun go?
That's just on the driver's side. We don't know about the.
Where'd the night sun go? I thought they needed it so they can see what's going on. Why would you take it off right when the tires are going flat? What the hell?
Passenger side, what the situation is there. It's hard to see.
I think that rear tire looks suspicious too, but at least that front tire is on borrowed time now. So the thing about these speeds, though, you know, the vehicle will become much more difficult to steer. But if you drive slow, you could continue a slow speed pursuit on flat tires for a little while.
That's what I was talking about when I was wondering what was happening in the beginning, if they were on a spare or not, because like it is very hard to control a vehicle unless you're going very slow.
But you know, they still are able to, you know, move on a flat tire. If she went faster, that's when it would give her a real problem, right? The tires would start shredding much faster, then you'd run onto the rims, and then it would be a whole different ball game if she tried to speed away. But right now, I don't sense that intention from her. She obviously is having some regrets in life right now, but I don't think she's showing signs of.
Chris, how do you know she's feeling regretful right now? Obviously, she's in a high-speed chase, but maybe she's living it up. Maybe this is like on her bucket list. Leave her alone.
I think she knows that the end is near. Let's put it that way. I think she is just buying her time, you know, enjoying her final few minutes. She doesn't want to go to jail, but I think she knows that it's almost over here. And obviously, we know it's almost over because the number of officers involved in this pursuit are indicative of just how serious they are about taking her into custody for obviously very serious crimes.
In terms of danger to other motorists, this is kind of the best case scenario because I'm assuming that they have probably stopped traffic northbound on the 5 freeway. These are only northbound lanes that we're looking at.
Even if they didn't stop traffic, they've been traveling so slow that they're not really a danger to anybody.
This is a section where the northbound lanes and the southbound lanes are separated. And so they really have that stretch of the freeway to themselves, and they can at least minimize any danger to other motorists.
Yeah, other motorists, now that she's slowing down, are not an issue anymore, right? They've created the traffic break behind her. There may even be somebody ahead that we haven't seen. But that front tire might already be shredding. It looks like the treads are starting to come off here. We're going to see that tire spin off of the front of that vehicle here in just a second. And then she, sure enough, will be riding on the rims. And that's to say nothing of the front right wheel, which we have not gotten a good glimpse of yet. It may very well be behaving similarly. So that front left tire is starting to shred. It'll come off here in a second, and she'll be going even slower than she is now. And it couldn't happen a second too soon because they don't want to take this too far, away from the Santa Clarita Valley into the darkness. I mean, it really is pitch black up there. And if she does decide to get away, it's tricky terrain up here. It's rolling terrain up here, and then it gets a little steeper the further north she gets. But I think in this case, in all likelihood, that vehicle will be coming to a stop any minute. And I would expect within a matter of minutes that vehicle will be stopped.
And as far as the drivability of this vehicle is concerned, it's front-wheel drive, front engine, front-wheel drive.
Hopefully that semi wasn't sleeping. He'd be freaked the fuck out being woken up by this little slow speed chase.
Accelerate or move once the speed gets too slow. And clearly, obviously, the driver's side front tire completely gone and starting to come off.
Yep, starting to come off. Also, keep in mind, she's now on an incline. She is moving uphill on the 5 freeway, and that's going to slow her down even more, especially at these speeds with no traction left on that front right. And again, can only imagine the front right. I'm sorry, the front. That's the front left. You can only imagine the front right. If it was hit too, then both wheels might be coming to a complete stop here.
It is that impressive that they lasted that long. Some people try to go past the tires being off the rims and will pull the whole vehicle on the rims. I suppose it would be easier on the car itself if they own the car, if they left the rubber on, so that may be why they stopped. But I don't know. I'm more interested in the durability of the cars in these situations than what's actually happening.
Stop here. Sure enough, it does look like this minivan has indeed come to a halt.
All right, we're going to watch now because this is the part that gets hazardous for everyone, for everybody involved, because the belief and assumption, the report is that she is armed with a silver
They got
handgun.
that cop block right there.
The report is that she has already shot 2 people, shot and wounded, perhaps even killed 2 people. We don't know the conditions of the people who were hit by gunfire in Echo Park. And so the police, the CHP officers, and we presume the LAPD is kind of bringing up the rear and will also be involved in this, are going to have to move with extreme caution to remove her from this vehicle. What they basically have here is a barricade situation.
Standoff.
Yeah, involving a vehicle out on the open road. There's no cover between the officers and the vehicle.
We see, is that her hand outside the window? Was that her arm?
I think she might have peeked out with her head. There's her left hand, and she's spreading her fingers, so it might show signs of.
She's opening the door.
Here she goes. Looks like she's willing to give up here. She was showing her hand up, and she closes.
Oh, Lord.
So some, I would say, fairly erratic behavior here. She's not really
Maybe
a little
she's-
indecisive, I guess you'd say. She tries to.
Maybe she's trying to figure
show
out the
signs of
dog.
Got the
surrender,
dog.
but
She wants to
the
bring the dog
She's
with her.
clearly concerned about
Yeah.
the dog. Yeah, they're going to want her to put that dog down. That's going to be a priority
That looks like a
for
puppy.
those officers.
That poor
Yeah,
baby. Oh
it's a
my
puppy.
God.
Yeah.
She's obviously attached to the animal. Definitely, you can understand that.
Oh my Lord.
But it is a problem that CHP
I
now has to
hope
navigate
that she is not trying to
They
use
need her
the
to put that
animal as a
down and show
shield
her
because
Well, at least if she's holding
from
the puppy, she
experience
can't
watching
hold a
these
gun at the
videos, the
same time.
cops do not
100%. She's
care
got
about the
both hands on
lives
the
of
dog.
the
They at
animals.
least know where her hands are. She is
Okay.
speaking with them,
left hand
gesturing
is
toward them.
empty.
Right.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, they're telling her to put the puppy dog, show her hands.
She's communicating. That's a positive sign. You can see her mouth moving. She is yelling back at the officers, and now getting back in the vehicle. I thought she was going to put the dog in
The
the
what?
vehicle. Unfortunately, the situation. I know it seems like a minor thing, but the fact that she gets out of the vehicle with the dog and now has completely retreated back inside the vehicle, it really tells them a lot. It tells them this could be a prolonged effort than they were, more prolonged than they were planning. Let's put it that way. And at some point, they will start making some decisions because now what they have is a bona fide standoff. Once again, the driver's side door popping open, the dog in the vehicle, and she clearly knows that it's over. So she's showing signs of surrender. She just doesn't. She's probably mostly concerned about the dog, is my guess.
And
But,
yeah, we've seen
you
that
can see
before.
now, both hands up in the air. We have seen this before, and it always provides a unique set of circumstances because the most unpredictable character in all of this is the animal itself. Especially if
Yo,
she
I
shows
don't
signs
I don't
of
like
giving
that
up.
he just said that right now because there's an implication that the dog is going to be violent, and I don't like the stigma behind dogs being violent towards police, and because that gives them justification to shoot the dog, and that is not good. I don't appreciate that justification.
It would be, that dog is obviously in the vehicle now, but if he gets spooked, he could, jump out and run away, and that could agitate her.
Yeah, we don't want that either. So, yeah, we've seen this a number of times when people, people get into pursuits with the dogs with them, and their immediate concern almost always is for the dog. And
She's
oh
frustrated.
gosh,
Okay,
yeah,
this
she's
is
getting back in.
it's not working out for authorities as they would like, and for any of us, really, this is not a good situation. But again, authorities believe she's responsible for a shooting and having shot two people. So her mindset is not.
So even though she did commit those crimes, I think her mindset is just okay because she's trying to protect that dog.
Probably
She's
in the
clearly
best.
willing. She's willing to give up here. It's the
best
dog
state.
that's the X factor here.
Yes.
Right.
So again, she's out of the vehicle. Can't really make up her mind on how to protect the dog and surrender at the same time. So she's stepping away from the vehicle. They're urging her to follow their instructions. She's stepping further away from the vehicle. She's now in front of the vehicle, stepping away from the
This dog has
officers
got me stressed
and
right
away
now.
from
She
the
should have shut the door to keep him in there.
Keep an eye on the dog. The dog is safely inside the vehicle right now. She is showing her hands and arms. She's yelling. Again, she's 170 feet away from those officers. So communication is a challenge here, and you have all the helicopters overhead as well. So it is, I guarantee you, it's a problem for them to be able to communicate here because you've got that LAPD helicopter right overhead. You have a bunch of other news ships overhead, and then you've got the distance between them.
Yeah, they probably can't hear each other at this point or understand each other. Yeah, you can see her talking to them. What's good here is you don't see any indication of further violence on her part or any violence. The gun is not evident. The weapon, which was reported to be with her, is not on her that we can tell at the moment. At least it's not.
A big reason a lot of these people could be going as long as they are, as far as the chase, is to like call the people they need to call to make arrangements for other things in life. I really wish she closed the door for the dog. I hope the dog ends up okay. I'm very concerned for this whole situation.
At least it's not in her hands. It could be in her waistband.
And she's approaching the officers.
Except she's doing it the wrong way. I'm sure they're
Right.
telling her they want her to turn around
Right.
because they want you to back up toward them.
And
Correct.
I'm surprised they haven't asked her to get on the ground and lie face down.
They may have. We just don't know if she's complying.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, it would be one or the other. Either proned out or walk backwards towards them, where they can then they would have her be proned out closer to the arresting officers. If they keep her, if she is getting closer, but if she doesn't come all the way, they'll have to put that arrest team together, which is usually 3 or 4 officers collectively, and then they'll approach her gingerly, especially as long as she's showing her hands.
Mm-hmm. They're telling her what to do, and she's
trying. She's
right.
giving it an effort. Again, you have to keep in mind too, we do not know, her state of mind. Is she inebriated in any way whatsoever? Is there any other mental health issues or language barriers? You just never know, what they're dealing with down there, and sometimes they have to give her a certain amount of mercy as long as she's showing her hands.
Mm-hmm.
As long as she's.
That is true. I realize that it's regulation to like be set up in this format here because they don't know if she has the weapon or not. But I feel like the risk factor is not so bad in this situation because like even if they did have a weapon, if one of these people came up to her, there's not a whole lot that could happen. Even if they did pull the weapon, all these other people could do something. I don't think drawing out this whole walk over there is really necessary.
As she's showing her hands, and there's no threat, they can exhibit extreme patience with her as long as they see the palms of her hands.
Well, time is on their side. They have time. There is really no need to rush in a situation that could turn dangerous at any moment. So it's best that they take their time and have the patience and give her a minute to comply.
What it looks like is she just doesn't want to get on the ground.
Yeah.
She just doesn't want to be on the ground.
Okay.
So
she's turning around, hands behind her back, giving up peacefully, and now they have to treat that minivan very gingerly as well until they give the code 4 and clear the vehicle. They have to work under the assumption that vehicle is not.
So when they say they're going to treat it very gingerly, is they're going to approach it as if there's like 4 more people in there and they're all armed and they got to inch closer and closer and closer to make sure it's not dangerous.
Is not empty until they know it is for sure. We know there's a dog inside the vehicle, but there could be any number of surprises inside of that minivan, and so they're going to approach very carefully here and shine a light into those windows. They've got their guns trained, a full team of officers here, 6 in total, approaching this Dodge Caravan, and they are able to get a better glimpse now inside the vehicle. They will eventually pop open that back door, but they can see now with the flashlights that it appears that the vehicle is empty. They take there you see the code 4. That officer with the 4 fingers up. Everybody knows this is now a peaceful resolution to what.
Somebody please close this door for the dog. I hope that cop has enough sense to close that door.
About the dog, they've still got to get the dog out of there.
Still got to get the dog. Animal control will be called eventually, but the dog, as far
I really don't like that dog is going to end up going to animal control. I realize that whatever police forces have whatever rules about keeping dogs in whatever situation, but I don't think they deserve going to the pound because their person decided to go on a slow speed chase.
In the vehicle, although we did lose sight of the vehicle at one point when they were arresting her, and now I don't see any movement inside, so we don't know if that dog did jump out of the vehicle. I don't see any sign of the dog, but I'm sure we will get a report from the ground here in just a minute.
I was surprised the dog didn't run out of the car.
Right, and didn't run toward her. So
Maybe it
He's
was
a good boy.
Put him in a restraint. We don't know.
possible. All right. So are we moving on at this point? I think we are. So we will try to find out more about both the shooting, which began all this, and
All right, we're gonna go to another one.
And it live on ABC7.com. Welcome, everybody, as you join us live on ABC7.com and our 24/7 streaming apps. Chris Christie up in Air 7 HD over a high-speed pursuit down the 60 freeway. This was a pursuit that originated in South LA along the 110 freeway. CHP following this vehicle all the way up into the 10 freeway and then back onto surface streets. Now he's in East LA, 60 freeway, eastbound through San Gabriel Boulevard at a very high rate of speed, exceeding triple-digit speeds throughout this pursuit, driving daring and dangerously as he continues to navigate these lightly trafficked freeways for this time of the night, but still having to weave around some of the little traffic in his way here. It is a red, possibly a Lexus, a red Lexus that is refusing to pull over. Apparently, the driver wanted on felony.
A lot of this is one of the multiple builds that is very close to a Charger, and I know a Charger can go very fast, so I wonder how fast this guy can go.
Charges, although that's about all the information that we have. Copy. And it starting to look a little more like a BMW that they're chasing there. It's a heavily tinted vehicle. Again, this is apparently an LA County Sheriff's pursuit. I said CHP. Apparently, this started with the LA County Sheriffs. They are in pursuit, but they are far behind here. They have fallen way back. They have lost a visual, I believe, but they are trying.
Well, yeah, because that guy's going 106, and the cops are not going to go that fast when there's this much traffic.
Trying to get California Highway Patrol involved here. There is an airship overhead that is tracking the suspect's each and every move as he pushes 120 miles per hour. Again, weaving across all lanes of traffic.
This guy's
to get around
balls.
the few vehicles out there, but he is really pushing the pedal to the metal here and traveling quite a distance here. Just in the last few minutes, he was over in the West Adams district just about 5 to 8 minutes ago and is already well into the San Gabriel Valley, well out of LAPD's jurisdiction here. We are again on the 60 freeway as he continues very high speeds on the shoulder now. Is that the shoulder it looks like? Or maybe he's in the carpool lane there. He's in the carpool
Well, of course he's going to take that empty-ass lane.
Trying to just outpace everybody here. He's going to get hurt. If he makes one wrong move as he weaves through at these speeds, it could be very dangerous, but Yeah, we'll see what the level of driving is here behind the wheel, but you can see that he is really booking here, and we don't know if there's anybody else inside the vehicle, whether it's just the driver or whether there are any other participants inside.
I'm getting the vibe from the red of the car that this is a single man listening to Careless Whisper crying.
Of that vehicle.
Over here dipping
Just
and
passing the Whittier
dodging.
area now as we continue eastbound on the 60 freeway, past the 605, continuing at triple-digit speeds here, hugging that HOV lane. And the further east we get, you'll notice that there are fewer and fewer cars and trucks in his way here. Just a few off the nose as we look out over the next several miles here. Traffic is steady but light all the way through the San Gabriel Valley here. Again, he's still doing about 90 miles per hour, looking for an opportunity
Oh my
to
God.
squeeze through here.
People that ride motorcycles scare me so much because what if in this situation there was so much traffic and that guy got plowed over so this guy could keep running away? Oh my Lord.
He does have an LA County Sheriff's helicopter right overhead. I would imagine he is aware of it, but he's definitely aware of it. That's actually the night sun that you can see there. I thought that was the freeway lights. He is actually under that LA Sheriff's night sun, so definitely well aware of the presence of that law enforcement helicopter and continuing to push that pedal. Look at him. He's 120 miles per hour eastbound on the 60 freeway, passing Hacienda Boulevard. Really close there.
I couldn't imagine doing 120 because if I hit like 75, I feel like I'm going so fast and I get so scared.
He is flying. This guy is really flying. If you take a look at our real-time speed tracker there, as we push in, you can see we are getting accurate readings of upwards of 125 miles per hour. He is, again, weaving across all these lanes at extremely high speeds. This is a dangerous pursuit.
Again, imagine Careless Whisper playing in the background.
And he is just refusing to stop or even slow down at this point. Really, really worried about how this one could end if he continues at these speeds and some of these last-minute lane changes here. Again, it just takes, at these speeds, just one wrong move, and he could spin out or collide and really hurt somebody here as he tries to navigate this traffic on the 60 freeway here, now passing Fullerton Road. Nobody behind him. Law enforcement has fallen way behind. They have not kept up. They are behind, but maybe about a half mile to maybe a mile back are the closest units. Those are sheriff's units that are trying to keep up. They're barely able to maintain a visual, but again, the helicopter that you see there is the one doing all the work and shining the light on that suspect, giving the motorists ahead of him at least a clue of what is coming up behind them. If you look in your rearview mirror, you can easily catch that night sun sometimes as a speeding vehicle comes up behind you here, and that's hopefully what's happening here, but he is going so much faster than every other car on the freeway, still doing 110 miles per hour in the slow lane now moving all the way over, passing Nogales Street. Going to be coming up on the 57 freeway here. I'll have an opportunity to head up towards Diamond Bar, or he can head southbound on the 57, or he can maintain the 60 freeway after he heads north on the 57 for a couple miles, and then it turns off. He can transition out to the east, and that will likely with California Highway Patrol officers. So they're in it to try and just kind of play catch up here, but he is still traveling at extreme speeds.
This is what I was talking about, that even though they don't see the cops anymore, they're still driving erratically. However, that could just be because the night vision is on them. I just realized that as I said this.
Still trying to get a correct make and model here. It's either a Lexus or a BMW. Could be a Lexus as we get a closer look here. Yeah, just really hard to tell, especially on the 57 where there's even less light than the 60 freeway, but it is a bright red vehicle that is certainly very noticeable, very easy to pick out.
That is something interesting about people that buy red vehicles. And I know not every single person is intending to commit crime, but if you are committing a crime, a red vehicle is not ideal because that is the most eye-catching of all of the colors.
Got a black hood.
Not the black hood, so also the car is fucked up and super identifiable. Why would you be running in this?
Yeah, it looks like a black hood on a red Lexus, traveling southbound on the 57 freeway through the hills here. Going to come out in Orange County here in just a second.
The adrenaline pumping through this guy's veins has got to be amazing. Got a laser coming off the nose here. What laser is this guy talking about? I don't see any laser.
Well, again, as you look at all the other cars on the 57 here, He is just going so much faster than everybody else.
Well, he's got a very clear lane because he's in the carpool slash bus lane, and people are, in general, pretty cool if they're not carpooling. They don't take that lane, so he's got quite an open road.
And a tremendous amount of horsepower here that we're dealing with underneath the hood of this Lexus sports car. You can see him getting back over to the right. We'll look for any signs of looking for an actual exit opportunity, but my guess is he's going to try and stay on the freeway. He's got a need for speed, and
Chris Christie, chill. Obviously, if he has nowhere to go, he's going to continue to go north because he has quite a bit of way to drive for the cops to not be on him anymore.
is opting for the most empty lanes. Doesn't really seem like he wants to get off the freeway, although he has done so on at least one or two occasions back in South LA, where he was just about 20 minutes ago. Again, we've made our way through South LA, onto the 10 freeway through West Adams, and then all the way out through downtown LA, through the East LA interchange, getting out on the 60 freeway, taking the 60 freeway through the San Gabriel Valley, onto the 57 freeway southbound. Now as we move through Yorba Linda, continuing at 140 miles.
140.
Miles
And
per
that
hour.
little guy can go zoom fucking zoom.
LA County Sheriff's helicopters still able to keep up with him, but those ground units have fallen way back. So nobody behind him that he could see, but the helicopter is overhead. There is law enforcement ahead, but we'll see if they're going to rendezvous with him or if they are attending to other business. We do see some other vehicles. CHP is aware of this pursuit. The sheriff's department is asking.
Where are you,
requesting
CHP?
some assistance here. They may
CHP let so much time go by before they get involved.
get involved if they have the opportunity, but again, at these speeds, it's a game of triangulation, trying to get units into position, not where the suspect is, but where you think he's going to be in the next few minutes. And so he's continuing southbound at a high rate of speed, well into Orange County now. They will hand this off to Orange County sheriffs or CHP Orange County units at some point. Right now, again, this is still a sheriff's operation with their helicopter calling out the location. Getting off the 57 freeway. This might be the westbound 91. Westbound 91 transition. All right. Turning the lights off. The vehicle is now blacked out as he is westbound on the 91 freeway.
Oh my lord.
Traveling through the city of Anaheim.
I may be biased. When they go blackout, I get so pumped up in the chest. I'm not sure if I'm scared for the other drivers or excited for what's happening. Ooh, they get me going.
Anaheim. Now going the opposite way. He's decided to get off the 57 and head back towards the west. If he continues to do triple-digit speeds with his headlights off, that is going to
triple-digit
increase the risk
speeds,
here.
no headlights equals the most crashes by however many people that do it. If he doesn't hit somebody, well, clearly it's going to go on for quite a few more minutes. We're 16 into 46. That it's so scary that he's going with no headlights.
Exponentially. Right now, he's hugging about 100 miles per hour, but you saw there just a minute ago, he was doing at least a buck 25, a buck 30. So the willingness to really step on that gas is there. We'll just see how daring he is. Again, we do not know what other crimes he has committed, but we do know from sources that there is a felony charge. It's a felony want. Just unclear what that crime is.
What? Obviously, I know he's going to be charged with running at this point. But what was the initial charge?
Crime or crimes. And a quick pull out here, Robbie. Just I want to make sure there's still nobody behind him, right? Nobody even close, as far as we could tell. You're looking at almost a half mile there, and there's nobody behind him.
I know that hood is a different color because the car got fucked up and the guy probably couldn't afford to paint match it, but high key, that's a hot color scheme.
Again, if you're just joining us on ABC7.com and our 24/7 streaming channels, we are continuing to follow this high-speed pursuit in Air 7 here as the LA County Sheriff's Department has followed this suspect from the air into Orange County. He's been up and down a number of freeways, up the 10 freeway through South LA, eventually through downtown, through the East LA interchange, onto the 60 freeway where he has done a full U-turn. Down the 57 and back west now on the 91 freeway, this time in Anaheim as he continues at over 110 miles per hour. It is a red Lexus. Looks to be souped up by my eye, and it does have an aftermarket hood there. You can see he's continuing to drive with his headlights and taillights off. Heavily tinted windows that are precluding us from seeing.
So he is driving without headlights or taillights. However, I don't know how much that's actually affecting him because he has the spotlight on him. So he's got quite good vision because there's a bit of light there. So I wonder if it's better or not for him because the taillights are off.
Or
the
even getting
headlights are
a
off.
hint of anybody inside of that car, anybody else besides the driver inside the vehicle. Don't know how many people are in there or what the situation is. Those
there's a lot of light there. So,
Windows
like,
have been
does he
rolled up
need his headlight?
over the course of this pursuit, at least since we've been over it. And it looks like he's transitioning again. This may put him on the 5, or is he continuing on the 91, Rob? Looks like he's committing to the 91. Committing to the 91, passing the 5 freeway through that huge interchange. LA County Sheriff still overhead. It does sound like CHP might have been involved at one point, and they are already considering what their next move is going to be here, especially as we continue westbound. This will eventually take him back into LA County. So a number of different LA or a number of different CHP offices monitoring this pursuit, getting into position, and deciding what they want.
My kitty decided to come up. If I didn't look like shit, I would show her. But
to do here at these speeds. He is certainly a risk to everybody else on the road here, but how much resources these agencies want to dedicate collectively is a little bit up in the air. Right now, it's a matter of just keeping up with the suspect, and right now, LA County Sheriff's deputies have fallen way back. He has just been traveling way too fast, and they've been forced to let the helicopter apply pressure with that night sun, but it has not had the effect of slowing them down whatsoever. He's continuing to do over 100 miles per hour with his headlights and taillights completely blacked out. Thank you. There could be onto that number 5 lane, that carpool lane there. They will have limited options. There's not much you could do on the freeway except for try and keep up. A spike strip is not an option. A pit maneuver is out of the question. It's just a matter of letting him use up as much gas as possible, whatever remains in that tank, and then try and be at the right place at the right time when this pursuit eventually ends, whether it's on the freeway, whether he dumps the vehicle somewhere else, whatever it is. They just want to try and be in the vicinity as close as possible, and that just involves trying to keep up with them. Look at this, moving all the way over to the right shoulder, and he's
so
definitely got a
excited about
tire
the right
wobbly
shoulder.
there. That front left
I don't
tire
see
is going to
anyone
come
else
off.
in the right
That front left
shoulder.
tire is about to come off. I'm not sure what happened to that front left tire, but he's
It
continuing
seems it
at
is
a
flat.
fast speed
I don't
at
see
the
how you don't
exit
know what
ramp here at
happened.
Artesia Boulevard, and is now going to be slowing down with that CHP Interceptor right behind him. No
Oh
opportunity
no,
for a
that's semi.
pit here, but we'll see. There's 2 units. He's boxed in
Oh,
by the
keep
truck. The
going.
truck is blocking him in. The truck is
Oh.
blocking the red Lexus into a corner here
Oh no, they got him blocked.
with 2 CHP units ready
Push
to pull
through
to
it.
put this to an end.
Hell
But
yeah.
look at him trying to get away here
Going.
around that truck with the front left tire now coming off. There goes the tire.
There goes
the tread.
tire. We're
He
gonna be
is now
throwing
on a
sparks,
rim
folks.
as he continues to press that gas pedal on the rim. You can see he's starting to smoke there. I don't know how much more this vehicle has left in it, but you
It's
can
got
see
a
he's
lot left
continuing
in
to
it.
move at a remarkably
Chris, we
fast
don't
pace here.
even know.
And things have really picked up dramatically now that he has tried to evade that that move by that cargo truck. CHP giving him just barely enough room to swerve around here. I don't know how he was able to evade that little predicament he was in, but
The
sure
driving
enough, they
skills are
now have an
greater than
opportunity
the
to execute a
quality
pit
of
if
the
there's
car.
nobody else
It doesn't
around him.
matter if
So
he's
we'll
driving
see
on
if
a
they
rim. If that's a good driver, he's
find a
going to
stretch
get
of road here.
to it.
Perhaps this is going to be it. That CHP officer coming up on the left rear. He's speeding up, trying to evade that pit maneuver, but he again has no tire. There it goes.
Ooh, you
There it
missed
goes.
it.
And a little bit of a love
You
tap,
missed
not
the
quite
pit.
enough to bring this vehicle to a stop. He is continuing now on Avalon Boulevard. This is just incredible. He was able to evade that there.
If this is
Maybe
someone that's
fishtailed
ran
slightly, but
before,
really
then they're going to be able to handle one missing tire.
hardly affected him. But that front left tire is his bigger issue. It's gone, and now he's riding on a rim. Remarkable speeds, considering that that tire is history. So I don't even know how that tire came off, what he struck. If maybe there was even
I thought they spiked him. What do you mean?
a spike strip that we did not see. It's possible. It is possible. Continuing down Avalon past Compton Boulevard. A little bit of smoke coming from that wheel. Northbound Avalon. There goes another tire.
That
There
was
goes
a
another
beautiful
tire.
shot.
A second tire has come spinning off that vehicle, and now CHP is going to go ahead with yet another pit maneuver, or at least an attempt, as he comes through a busy intersection here, Avalon Boulevard, continuing northbound. No traffic. Starting to spark a little bit on the right side now, so he's missing, I think, a left tire and a right tire, and they both appear to be the front tires. So he's riding on two front
All right,
rims.
we're I don't know if this car is all wheel or front wheel or rear wheel drive. I'm hoping it's not front wheel. It would last a lot longer if it was rear wheel, missing both of these tires.
Sparks coming from the right side. CHP ready to give that pit maneuver another attempt here as he runs through that red light at 135th Street. Northbound Avalon at 135th. And you can see him sparking really good now as he rides those rims and starts to grind into the pavement there. At a really high rate of speed. We don't want to put that speed tracker up just yet because he's starting to outrun us, and we're not going to get quite an accurate reading until we get a little bit closer here. We are in LAX's Bravo airspace. He is continuing northbound on Avalon Boulevard at El Segundo Boulevard. CHP once again coming up behind him, this time possibly on the right rear, moving over to the left rear, looking for any opportunity to spin that
We got
vehicle
the
out of
pit
control. That is
approved
the name of
cop
the game
coming
now.
up
They've
here.
got two front rims
Let's see.
with
Let's
tires
see if he gets them.
history, and now here he comes again, left rear. That interceptor's going to try and make contact the minute he sees it
Ooh,
open.
we backed up.
Even at these speeds, they are going to give this a go-ahead.
The LAPD is limited by the
have to get this person off
the
the road.
allowance to do it around a certain amount of cars and or at a certain speed.
Another tire just
Third tire running.
fell off that vehicle. Unbelievable. He's now missing 3 tires, and you have to believe that he must have hit a spike strip at some point because these tires are just falling off the vehicle.
And that's what I'm talking about the durability of these cars. So we're 33 into 46 minutes, and this man is running on 3 rims.
CHP keeping up with him here, looking for another gap, another stretch of roadway here. He's running through red lights as he continues up Avalon Boulevard. That CHP unit is he's on his tail. He's really close. He's about 2 car lengths behind him now, but you see every time he tries to pull up against that bumper, that driver just takes off, and it becomes just too fast for a safe pit maneuver or an effective pit maneuver for that matter. Approaching 108th Street, northbound Avalon Boulevard. And we are unfortunately stuck here at the moment as we wait for clearance, looking for an opportunity to get closer to this pursuit. But unfortunately, we are in a little bit of a predicament between the weather and air traffic control. We are negotiating a few variables here, but in the meantime, trying to keep the camera on this pursuit as that CHP SUV is looking for another opportunity to execute a safe pit maneuver, and he may have one here in just a second. Look at that bumper starting to come off. That bumper is starting to fall off
That
the
bumper
vehicle.
doesn't mean anything.
Again, to
It's not
recap,
gonna
we
hit
have
the
lost 3
tires.
tires in the last few minutes. I've got to believe he must have hit a spike strip that we did not witness. I can't imagine what else would cause those tires to fall off like that. But in any event, you can see him moving away from us here at a high rate of speed, now making maybe a left turn. I think he just made a left turn there, right, Rob? Or is he going north? No, continuing north. I can't tell. I saw some lights move west, but it looks like they're still on Avalon. So we'll try and get a glimpse here. He's at a stop, maybe. Did he crash? He crashed. Vehicle might have crashed. He hit a pedestrian. The vehicle
wow.
just hit a pedestrian. Okay, there's a pedestrian involved in a crash at Avalon
Damn,
and
that
89th
sucks.
Street.
What if you were just like walking home and you got hit by someone running?
CHP now at a stop. And now the vehicle keeps going. The vehicle is moving again. The vehicle is on the move. A pedestrian has been injured. A terrible turn of events here. We do not know the extent of injuries, but now the call being put out for County Fire to respond to Avalon and 82nd, I believe, where that red Lexus has struck a pedestrian and is continuing to move northbound once again. Just hit another vehicle. Suspect has hit a vehicle and a pedestrian. Well, it's very unfortunate. Obviously, we're trying to get as good of a look as possible to try and bring you these pictures as soon as we can. We have a lot of obstacles in our way here. Across the area, trying to make their way into this vicinity where a suspect has been taken into custody after a wild pursuit and a high-speed, a collision with a pedestrian and a vehicle. We're trying to get a glimpse of what is taking place down there on Avalon Boulevard. I think he's on Avalon still. It looks like they are now
Did he
right in
get
the
stopped at a
vicinity
rally? So what the hell?
of 73rd Street. All right. We do hear that the suspect is in custody. Suspect in custody. You can see officers across the area trying to make their way into this vicinity where a suspect has been taken into custody after a wild pursuit. If you're just joining us, we want to recap right there in the middle of your screen. We're going to get a better glimpse of that intersection here in just a short minute here. I did see fire responding, maybe a little further south, possibly, Rob. There it is. That's the vehicle collision. That was the collision at Manchester. That matches. So there's a vehicle collision at Manchester, and this is going to be Avalon and perhaps 92nd Street. Sure. Yep. All right. We've got a couple of collisions up and down Avalon Boulevard. Just bear with us as we try and kind of figure out how this all played out. Just
Is
about
there a
5
bunch of
minutes
mail,
ago,
or is that a
this
bunch of
pursuit
socks
came
on the
to a
ground?
violent and dramatic end. Several collisions. One at Manchester right there. Looks like he hit some cross traffic as he was going through the intersection. And over here, I believe, is where a pedestrian was struck near 92nd.
I really hope whoever got hit is okay. Like,
We'll
that
come
would
up behind
suck
this
so
ambulance
much.
here and see if we can peek in to see what the situation is. But there is a pedestrian on a stretcher. A pedestrian on a stretcher. We'll have to wait for word on that person's condition. Of course, we'll be working the story all night long. Of course, you can keep it
I
right
hope his
here
family
on
is able to help
ABC7
him.
and our ABC7 app for the very latest on this pursuit coming up in just a couple of hours on Eyewitness News at 11 o'clock. But again, a wild and dangerous high-speed pursuit through South LA, all the way up to downtown, out towards East LA on the 60 freeway, eventually turning onto the 57 into Orange County, and he came full circle into South LA, where this has come to a violent end. At least one pedestrian badly hurt there, other vehicles involved before he was finally taken into custody after a struggle with California Highway Patrol officers. Again, we do not know what the original want was here, but this was a driver who was wanted on felony charges and will now be spending the night in jail, and hopefully more than one. All right,
I
that'll do
wish
it for
that
our
these
coverage from up here
live
in Air 7.
helicopter videos would
For our
offer a
entire crew up
follow
here,
up
I'm
when
Chris
they're
Christie,
done.
ABC7.
So it's about done, and we're not gonna get any update about what happened in this situation.
It's getting interesting here. A lot of traffic weaving through. Almost hit that truck.
Ooh, Chris is excited.
Welcome, everybody, as you join us live on ABC7.com and our 24/7 streaming channels. Chris Christie up in Air 7 over a wild chase here. This is going to be out of the San Fernando Valley LAPD Van Nuys units chasing this stolen Alfa Romeo out of the San Fernando Valley down the 101 freeway in through Hollywood, now coming up on downtown LA. A busy night on the 101 freeway southbound. This suspect now weaving through some pretty heavy traffic here. A few fake outs showing as he's maybe thinking about getting off the freeway and then swerves all the way back over to the left. Look, he's just trying to get through anybody in his way here. He's come almost in contact with a few cars here. Very few, a few very close calls, I should say. But I don't think he's actually hit or struck anybody just yet. But the way he's driving, starting to really push the pedal to the metal and really ramp things up. They were watching him from a distance for a short time, and just a few moments ago, they have re-engaged this pursuit. And as they have, the night sun is on, the lights and sirens are blaring, and his speeds are picking up dramatically here with heavy traffic in front of him. There's no room for them to create a traffic break here, and he is swerving all over the southbound side of the 101 freeway now in downtown LA.
Those tricycles are so silly.
Coming up on Broadway, again, using all three lanes at his disposal here. Any gap, he is pushing right through, showing some real signs of desperation here. LAPD trying to keep up with him. They have given the go-ahead for multiple tactics here, but right now those tactics are taking a back seat as he is now in the middle of the freeway, getting off the freeway now at Main Street, getting off the 101 freeway, coming up on a red light at Main Street here, coming around traffic, making a turn, a right turn with the light here, and now those units are off the freeway with him. Southbound Los Angeles Street, making a U-turn, probably going to get back.
He's flipping a bitch
On the freeway, going northbound on Los Angeles Street, probably, my bet, getting back on the 101 freeway. Or he'll go through it, going through it, over the overpass, over the 101 freeway, northbound Los Angeles in Chinatown. This chase continuing now as he kind of meanders through Chinatown. It looks like he's found an on-ramp here. This is going to put him on the southbound side, or northbound 101. Northbound 101, I think, is it? I think it is. A northbound ramp onto the 101 freeway. Northbound 101, this chase is now back on the freeway. All of those LAPD units, a full pursuit package, hot on his tail, on the 101 freeway now, and more units joining the pursuit. Full speed ahead. Look at the same thing. Same driving northbound with a lot of heavy traffic in his way. Over the goal point, getting off here. Getting off a wild turn there. He's getting off of the 101 freeway.
That turn wasn't super sharp.
This is going to be, I think, the 4 level. Yeah, he's at the 4 level. Northbound 10. Northbound 110, excuse me. Northbound 110 freeway. Stolen Alfa Romeo now traveling northbound on the 110 freeway. LAPD continuing this hot pursuit through downtown up towards Dodger Stadium with a lot of traffic on a Thursday night. Doing about 80, 90 miles per hour with a whole lot of cars in his way, jamming on the brakes here and continuing to weave through. They may very well put this pursuit back in surveillance mode and just track him from the helicopter if this driving continues as dangerously as it is. Right now, though, they are continuing to.
So even if they put it back into surveillance mode, if they have the helicopter watching it, they're still going to drive erratically, so it doesn't make sense to stop following them with ground units at that point, because the anxiety is still going to be there.
To keep up with this suspect, doing a fabulous job despite the many obstacles. A lot of innocent motorists in this pursuit as this driver is just desperate to squeeze through every car on the freeway, just looking for any gap to try and evade those officers as he travels northbound through the tunnels on the 110 freeway. LAPD's airship closely watching right overhead. Committed to the 110 now, past the 5 freeway. Bypassing the 5, getting off at Figueroa Street with traffic in his way. Those units right underneath the 5 freeway there. That's the 5 freeway going through the screen here. And the suspect coming up on, I think he's got a green light, making the right turn, northbound Fig at a green light. Will he make the U-turn here? Yes, he will. Southbound Fig, a wild turn back onto the freeway.
A wild turn right back onto the freeway. I'll be right back in 2 minutes.
This should put him back onto, let me get my bearings here. He's going to be back on the southbound side, southbound on the 110 freeway. That was a transition, putting him back on the southbound 110, continuing to put, I mean, he's really flooring it through a lot of cars here, a lot of traffic in his way. He's just swerving right around everybody at speeds in excess of 90 miles per hour in Elysian Park, continuing southbound towards downtown LA. We'll see if he stays on the 110 or continues this cat and mouse game on and off the freeway. He's made a lot of really random moves here, really sends the impression that he doesn't really know where he wants to go. Whether he is familiar with the area, that's a whole other question, but certainly seems to be indecisive about a final destination here, and he is continuing now southbound on the 110 freeway, swerving around everybody as those LAPD units continue to apply pressure here with lights and sirens. Falling back a little bit, but still in pursuit. We'll go ahead wide now and see if we can see, just don't lose it, but yeah, just see how far back they have fallen. They've fallen back considerably now.
They probably backed off a little bit because there's a few more cars in the way here.
All right, LAPD trying to make their way through traffic safely while this guy is just basically putting some distance, putting some real distance between him and those officers, but there is a full pursuit package just about a quarter mile back trying to catch up with this suspect as he travels at high speeds through downtown LA with nobody behind him. So it is the helicopter who is calling out the location right now. He is the only one, and Air 7, of course, with eyes on that suspect. Those ground units have fallen back, but they are still trying to catch up. This is still a hot pursuit, and this guy is really desperate to get away. Continuing now to, he's actually in downtown. He's off the freeway now. He's going to be on 6th Street, on 6th. Well, this is where
Beneficial fact
a lot
about
of
going into the
dangerous
cities
pursuits
is you can hide behind the
die,
buildings
as
a lot
the pros
easier.
tend to know
It's a lot easier to get
between the
away from
buildings
the
and the parking
helicopter if the
garages,
helicopter is
there
the only
are
thing looking
plenty
at you,
of hiding
because they
spots,
can't
and it
really
is
get
much more
around the
difficult for
buildings
law
quick enough. You
enforcement and
can
everybody
like pull
involved
into an underground parking
to
so
keep eyes
easily.
on the suspect as he travels past the U.S. Bank building there and continuing along 6th Street, getting off here. Where's this going to take him? This is going to put him underground. This tunnel comes out on the other side. Let's go ahead and come out the other side of that building. He's going to come out on the other side of this group of buildings. It's about a 2-block tunnel. Unless that was that the parking? That might have been the parking structure. That's a parking structure, actually. That's a parking structure underneath that building. So they are going to be able to lock down this neighborhood pretty quickly here, I would imagine. You know what, Josh, I think let's stay on the other side in case he comes out. I don't know if there's an exit on this side, but I imagine if he comes out, it'll be on the front of the building or on the 6th Street side. So I think I mean, I doubt he's going to come out. In all likelihood, this pursuit is going to be this guy's going to be a goner. He's going to dump that vehicle in that parking garage, and most likely abandon the vehicle. We'll see what happens here, but that's my guess. Let's see. There are units down there.
I don't know if that's what happens in this situation, but it'd be so easy to just get in the car and walk out.
They're going to lock down that building.
Out of the car, not in the car.
They're going to have to cover all of those exits right now. Not enough manpower in place to do that, but there is a high likelihood that they will probably find that vehicle underground. Now there are, likely cameras under there, and all right, that's the same entrance that he went down. They're following him down there. There are other exits though that are uncovered, so there's potential for him to get away here. But they may be relying on the building security and whatever cameras are available.
I wonder how many buildings he has access to in that underground parking, because it is reasonable for it to be big enough to reach any of these buildings around the side. I'm wondering if it's just this building right here, or if it's like the whole vicinity.
To find that suspect. A lot more units pulling in here. They are going to surround this building. I don't think he's had quite enough time to vacate the premises, and so I imagine there's going to be a.
It's not been very long at all. Even if he could like park and find a spot, he could like not even be into a building at this point yet. It's been less than 10 minutes.
Flood of LAPD black and whites in that parking garage. I'm not sure how many levels are down there, but we'll see. We'll see what they come up with here. And it looks like this is now going to turn into an extended manhunt underneath this building.
An extended
They've got tools
manhunt.
that they could use to track
Oh,
down this
Lord.
suspect. I don't think he's had time to completely get away, but it does look like this pursuit has come to an end. Thankfully, nobody hurt in that one, but there were a lot of close calls and some really dangerous driving during the course of that pursuit. Fortunately, it was mostly on the freeway. Again, this all started in the San Fernando Valley. A stolen Alfa Romeo on the run from LAPD, ending underneath a high-rise here in downtown LA. And this, again, will turn into a manhunt until they find that suspect. Again, that will likely do it for our coverage from up here in Air 7 for the time being. But for now, I'm Chris.
108, and we're continuing eastbound now, swerving around traffic, going the wrong way, and now going back the right way now, and back the wrong way again, running through this intersection. It looks like that was a green there. Now we're going northbound on McKinley
We
again.
got somebody
This is one of those
TikToking
pursuits
out
that
the
appears
window
to be
here.
kind
What
of
the hell's
making
going on?
circles in one particular area. We've kind of stayed in the South LA Watts area throughout this pursuit. We're coming up on a work truck there, coming up on another oncoming vehicle right there, and this guy's just making these evasive maneuvers. And now one of the passengers there, it looked like, had his hand sticking out the window. Again, still
This has
on the
got to
phone,
be
so just
like
very
young
erratic driving and
20-year-olds,
very
late
interesting behavior
teens.
from these
This guy
pursuit
is way
suspects right
too
now as
hyped hanging
LAPD
out the window
continues
with his
this pursuit
phone.
through South LA.
Well, interesting to say the least, but it's more like dangerous. And it looked like that guy was doing some selfie work in that car.
I think that's what he was doing.
There's
'cause
no
he was
bumper
talking
on
to the
this
phone,
bitch?
and
Oh
you can see
my
the driver
lord.
as well. So I think this is I mean, they're enjoying this moment, it seems, but this is extremely difficult because it is first surface streets. This is a very busy neighborhood, and they're going on the wrong side of the road. As you said, Gabe, there is no pursuing officers directly behind them. Maybe they're aware of a helicopter, maybe not. Nevertheless, this is a danger to this community.
Yeah, definitely a danger to the community because of the wrong way driving and the running through stoplights and red lights and things of that nature. Driving around traffic very erratically.
Over
If
here
you see
driving
this
in the
vehicle
bike
in the area,
lane.
just try and keep your distance. If you're in the neighborhood, lock your doors and windows. We are hearing that LAPD is treating this as a possibly armed suspect, so that kind of raises the level of danger. And just like this, you see this driver going the wrong way down Central Avenue in Watts and now back on the right side of the road, continuing southbound. It looks like the left, the driver's side window is now rolled up. I don't remember if this side of the window was rolled down earlier or if it was just those windows on the right side, but we're continuing this erratic driving. One coming up on, let's see, it looks like we're still on Central Avenue,
Gripping up in
and
that
he's in that
suicide
left
lane,
turn
real
lane. This might be
comfortable.
a red light, running a red light, doing a right turn, now continuing on 114th Street. A lot of traffic building in the area. It's approaching rush hour now, but we're still kind of doing these circles in the area. You can see there those right side windows.
They're
Both
doing
the right side
circles because
passenger
that's
and the
their
rear
hood. They
passenger,
don't know where
they
else
have
to
their
go.
windows down, so they're just kind of enjoying this joyride, it seems, as we continue doing almost circles around the Watts and South LA area.
Yeah, these are
We're
the
going to
worst.
try and move Air 7HD a
I
little
only
closer
say
to this
that because
vehicle
they
as it
seem
maneuvers through
young due to the dude
LAX
hanging
airspace,
out the
but
window
we
with
will
his
continue
phone.
to keep an eye on this.
Wow, the worst type of pursuits that we don't want to see on surface streets, driving erratically like that, and especially this time of day when kids might be out in the street, and it's just so very dangerous to see this.
We've already seen it. There's so many people on the streets, and at
slowing
least
down here.
okay.
Damn,
You know,
got
some
stopped by
trash
a
bins in
dude
the
being
roadway
like,
there.
fuck
He hit
you
one of
down
the
the
trash
road.
bins. Luckily, he didn't hit that other vehicle.
Oh, there
and you
it
can
is.
see there now some LAPD vehicles are possibly returning, at least making their presence known. I haven't heard if they're actively switching back into an active pursuit mode. They are keeping a bit of distance right now, hopefully to at least slow down some of the erratic driving that we've seen from this driver. But that even going into a following or a tracking mode, as LAPD calls it, doesn't seem to be altering the behavior of this driver any as we continue.
That's like I said earlier, if they're running from the cops, even if they don't actively see them, they're still going to drive erratically because they're trying to get away.
As we continue this pursuit.
Gabe, from your information, the damage on this car could possibly have happened as a result of this pursuit, or at least the beginning of this pursuit?
We did hear that the vehicle was possibly in an accident earlier in this pursuit, but we don't believe that was from a pit or anything of that nature. We heard LAPD ask permission to pit earlier in this pursuit. They also asked permission for spike strips, both of which were denied earlier. And you can see there are a number
The LAPD is a
units.
lot lighter
LAPD
on pits and spikes than other states. Like I said, the Arkansas Highway Patrol is very aggressive in those. I think I might actually load up some of those next.
Are continuing to keep a close distance or at least keep a good distance on this vehicle to keep an eye on where he is, but not stay too close behind him to put any extra pressure on this vehicle. We are learning some additional information now that this is a reported stolen vehicle, so that makes it a little difficult LAPD to figure out exactly who might be driving this vehicle, and that might be why LAPD is keeping a close eye on this and making sure they don't lose eyes on him without putting too much pressure on the driver. Now, as we go eastbound on 105th Street.
Looks like they're flashing signs out the window. That's what that looked like. The guy in the back seat was flashing some sort of a sign when they took that turn.
You're right, David.
So we know, this is what we know. At least 3 people are in the car. It's being called a stolen vehicle pursuit, but there's also concern that they believe that at least one of these guys could be armed. So it's a dangerous situation, not just because of their driving, but what's going to happen when we come to an end to this pursuit, which it will end eventually. And as they continue to squeeze through all these narrow places in the neighborhood.
There you go. Up to a, looks like an ice cream truck or a food truck there, possibly making contact with that car, continuing westbound on 106.
It sure looked like that. We just see him plow right through all of those stop signs back and forth. Perhaps they'll be able to put a spike strip out if they continue circling in that area.
Well, Gabe said that they've been denied at first. I'm not sure, you know, what the contemplation is when it comes to spike strips and pit maneuvers, although they are circling a lot. Maybe eventually they do decide to do a spike strip on this guy because it is so dangerous, and they got to slow this guy down, especially when he goes on the wrong side of the road.
No kidding.
Yeah,
there you go. See,
the,
flashing. He's flashing the signs.
So they need to enjoy this last joyride before they.
Yeah.
Wow.
And it looks almost as if the passenger in the front seat is laughing. He was on the phone earlier. They're definitely enjoying their 15 minutes of fame as they drive completely dangerously. Looks like making a right turn eastbound on Century. And as you said, David, there's one of the passengers looking up at us in the helicopter. They have to be aware of us down here. We did hear the LAPD helicopter actually ask units on the ground to back off a little bit to hopefully relieve some of the pressure on this driver. And as far as spike strips are concerned, the driver is circling the same general area, but not staying on the same exact road. So it's still kind of hard to predict exactly where this driver will go and where he'll turn, making a left turn now on Clovis. We've been on Clovis before, so he's definitely hitting the same streets, probably staying in an area that he's familiar with.
Yeah, but not a specific pattern, so it's hard to predict.
Exactly, yeah.
Okay.
Continuing northbound now on Clovis.
All right, at least this street is a little bit more wide open.
Yeah,
what was that, David?
At least this street is a little bit more wide open. It's not a tough squeeze, and there's some space for them to move.
Exactly.
You don't know what the end goal is here and what way that they eventually decide to do, but not sure if law enforcement will let these guys go, considering what they know now.
Yeah, one of the little bit more open streets in the area as we make kind of an aggressive left turn there, going the wrong way, possibly making contact with an SUV there. Now on the right side of the road, looks like going westbound on 92nd Street. Some of the roads in this area do provide for a little bit of safer traversing, although at these speeds with this erratic behavior, you can see they're using the center median to drive around traffic. Any of this driving is unsafe at this speed and at this magnitude. Looks like we're making a northbound turn on McKinley, left turn on 91st Street, staying in these residential areas. Like you noticed, some of these residential streets are a little more open and a little more easier to for this suspect to kind of fly through. You can see there some pedestrians there are in these roads, and as we said, it's close to rush hour. School let out an hour or so ago, a couple hours ago. So you see possibly young people in the street as we go, looks like an eastbound turn on Avalon now, still driving at a high rate of speed and still swerving around other vehicles as these, looks like 3 suspects in a Hyundai continue their joyride through South LA, continuing on 89th Street now, westbound. And LAPD still considering this a tracking mode situation right now. They have their LAPD helicopter overhead, but they're keeping the units on the ground, keeping them at a distance while still following. So they have a lot of units in the area. Once they kind of see the pattern of a suspect staying in the same general area, they'll start to position units in various parts of the area. So if the suspect were to foot bail, if they were to get out and run, it's not just the pursuing units in the that are actually following that will have to deal with that. They have other units that can kind of merge in and start to help out with a apprehension of these suspects. Looks like that vehicle almost got some air there as we continue at a high rate of speed on 88th Street westbound. coming up on another intersection here. It looks like it's a red light. There's some oncoming traffic there. That suspect very smartly slows down, looking, and makes a right turn there, northbound on Main Street, and we've been on this street before. We're going to see what this suspect does. Hopefully there's not too much traffic on this street that this suspect...
So they went, am I getting this right? Did they go down that sidewalk?
Alright, so I'm gonna switch over to this video from the Little Rock, Arkansas State Police.
And I've got some on 30. Coming up to the 126, still eastbound.
Bro, if you do not drive this car.
Hello, I'm getting on to 118.
Got across road. Go to baseline.
We know why they're chasing. Expired deal tag. Air Force is pulling out right now.
Hold up at baseline. Hold up at baseline. Let's figure out where they're going. If we need to go 430. Maybe y'all pass 430 or you can take 430.
I'm currently going underneath the 129. We're continuing east on 30. So it speeds at about 90 miles an hour on the fast lane. Light traffic.
90 miles an hour. 2045, 4. How many riot units do you have with you? As of right now, actively involved in the pursuit, we have one that is located in front of 5-1 at this point. Right. Coming up to 130, still in the fast lane.
We're going underneath the 131 overpass. Speeds at 100. Light traffic still in the fast lane. That state's about to get involved right now. They're getting on the interstate.
There's a lot of traffic. Where are they going to put those spikes at? Ooh, that's a quick flip onto that side road.
Cut across onto the service road.
I'm surprised that charger wasn't up on him that whole time. Those chargers can go up to like almost like 175.
State's in the lead. Second right now. Speeds at 100. No traffic.
Did he hit somebody? Is that what that guy was right there?
Be advised, subject just hit another vehicle on University right now, northbound.
All right, so that's the guy that's able to do the pit, I'm guessing. Got real close on him. I'm surprised he didn't do it. Ooh, he got that fucking guy. Did you see that guy flip on the side?
Stay here, just stay here.
Getting on the 7 further from zero.
Over. Maybe 2 or 3.
I always appreciate the videos that have the video from multiple body cam point of views.
In the accident pursuit, I'll pick over radio traffic coming up to University, 80 miles an hour. We're taking a left on University, they just wrecked out.
Let's check out with them. Let's check out with them. Let's check out with them.
Of course, that's on that car. Pursuit's continuing down University.
I'm glad somebody stopped for that random person that got clipped.
Are you okay? Are you okay? Here, buddy. Hey, let's pull off to the side. Vehicle's functioning. Let's back you up a little bit, okay? Back it up. I know you're dragging.
They just had me as well trying past the Corbin.
Yeah, so your wheel
I
over
feel
there
for
is
that
completely
person.
screwed.
I hope they weren't on
Let me
their way
block
to
them
do
off,
something
and I'll get
super
you out over here,
important.
okay? Hold on.
Let another station go ahead and runners red light. 10 minutes park for 65th.
Yeah, that's fine. He's just trying to get off the roadway as best as possible. Don't stop on the railroad tracks.
Don't stop on the railroad tracks. A jingle jangle of a piggy running is the greatest ASMR, don't you agree?
Get over there in the hill.
2451, where y'all at now?
medium traffic. Still on University, speeds at 85. Coming up on Mapleville Pike.
For 101, let ASC take this.
Yep. Up 1022 in Red Lake City.
Multiple state units. We're running the red light here at the Circus Road and the University. We got 3 state units ahead of me as well as Brian passing 4B. We got medium traffic, about 65 miles an hour. Letting another state unit go ahead of me. About 70 miles an hour down the University. Coming up to another red light. Stand by for a cross. Running the red light. Hinman Park, we're 65th.
Still north on University, speed 90.
I really do appreciate all the different point of view videos in this one because I'm getting my heart racing just watching it, perceiving being each different point of view in this video.
Medium traffic, speeds 100. Come up to first seat. 24-1, where you at now?
Alright, we're still on University at about 100 miles an hour. I didn't know if y'all could copy the safe traffic or not. Passing, send on across. Passing McDonald's and DD's discount. Running multiple red lights. Medium traffic, 85 miles an hour. Taking a left on Colonel Glenn. Left on Colonel Glenn.
You're going westbound on Asher. Speed 80. We are not able to pass the Apache.
I thought they were passing Edwards Food Giant. They said this might be Asher. We're 90 miles an hour. Gonna be taking it right on 36. Right on 36. 3 state units ahead of me. PVI 36. Medium traffic, 85 miles an hour. Taking a left on Colonel Glenn. Left on Colonel Glenn.
You're going westbound on Asher. Speed 80. We are not able to pass the Apache.
I thought they were passing Edwards Food Giant. They said this might be Asher. We're 90 miles an hour. Gonna be taking it right on 36. Right on 36. 3 state units ahead of me. TVI 36. TVI 36.
I'm back here on the 30.
Northbound on University, speeds are 90.
Are you driving?
Yep. Coming up 65th.
Intersection.
Going through 65th, speeds are 80.
That first car has got to be so hyped to be the lead on the street.
Still north on University, speeds 90.
For a good spot. For a good spot.
Oh, he got so close to that pit.
Get on his freaking butt, dude. Get on it.
Oh, he has a passenger. He's telling him, get on him.
Get on his butt and stay on his butt. When you get up here, right off this bridge, you put him into the
Medium traffic.
Stay on it.
Speeds 100.
You put him into it. Stay on it.
Stay on him and get up there so you can end this. Get up there.
I love the audio of the guy with him telling him. So this has got to be like a new recruit.
Just past the first tee, speeds 90.
You're good. You're good. Check this intersection. This is a busy intersection.
Busy intersection, boy.
Speeds 90.
You're good. You're good. You're good.
I got a pedestrian.
Now, I see the pedestrian. You're good. He's going left. The pedestrian.
Taking a left on Asher.
End it.
He got so close. Looking at that bumper real centrally.
You're good. Stay on him. Keep your distance. That close distance. You got a good spot. You can end it. Stay with it. Stay with it.
Oh, he's getting so close on him, but he can't.
If he takes this turn and you lose him, if he takes this turn and you lose him,
Too many
like I just
people.
said he was going
He's
to do.
taking the turn.
Get up there and put him.
There's a curve. He can't do it on this curve right here because he can't see anybody around it.
Send it.
Oh. He's so casual on it. Oh, I didn't realize there was more people in the car. Oh, I see glasses now behind this guy. He's got paper panty. Look at this glass. Now we got a woman coming out, I think.
Roll out.
There's a child in there. There's a child. You got a child in the back seat.
Oh no. Why would you run with a kid in the back?
Y'all see the kid?
Yeah, I see a child. I see a child in the car seat.
Y'all can see the kid?
Yeah, I see one. I can't see anybody over here. Yep. Two kids in the back. Two kids. Hey, baby.
If they're already pulled over, why is this video so long?
Hey, get a ambulance check-in system.
I'm over here. We got one at gunpoint on 36. Stay back there! We got one out of the car, getting the second one out of the car now. Crawl out. Crawl out. Shut up. 5-1. We're 10-15. One time.
Alright, so it looks like the next body cam is the point of view from the people that talked to the guys that got hit at the last image I can hear.
Hey, Kyle, have y'all got his name?
Yeah. I think Wiley knows.
Okay. Have y'all talked to him at all?
That's going to be a great video. He said, I'm going to back up. He backs up. And I said, oh no. Call.
Have y'all talked to him at all?
Hey, do you have his info? They're showing 2 warrants.
Okay.
Oh no! It's so shitty that somebody that's a victim of a hit and run has 2 warrants. Oh my god.
Top one off it. 51 name date of birth. Confirmation.
Give me theirs. Did they ever give you theirs?
Last name Scruggs. Scruggs. First name Daniel. Daniel Scruggs. Date of birth 19.
That is so bad. I can't believe that happened. That guy's gotta be so fucking mad. And there's a kid involved. Oh my god.
Alright, we're still on University at about 100 miles an hour. I didn't know if y'all could stop this stage traffic or not. Yeah, it's been on the draw.
Benton PD 2.
Captain McDonald and DD's discount. Running multiple red lights. Medium traffic, 85 miles an hour.
5-4 on 2. Everything's 1050 medical out here. We don't need medical. Go ahead and have a Little Rock officer sent our way for the accident. 10-4,
sir. Little Rock cardio where and en route.
10-4, thank you. We're out with 355 Zebra Mary Victor.
They said this might be an extra over 90 miles an hour.
Don't say think.
Benton PD 1.
Right on 36. 36 years ahead.
Are you okay, man? Are you sure? All right.
And that's what it's time. TBI 36. TBI 36.
You just dropped something, sir. You might need that. They get a TBI if you didn't hear. We've got a Little Rock officer headed out here. They're gonna work the accident, okay? You already got his insurance and all that. All right. We'll get your phone number and let you just stay in the vehicle. That way you're warm, okay?
Find a way to call him and let him know.
Try to call what? Okay.
we're getting the second one out of the car now.
So your retirement when?
You're gonna stop and let him know.
Oh, do
you have it? I'm gonna go call him and let him know. I have no particular rules about it.
Oh, okay. All right, you're gonna call him.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, he do you not have a phone? No, he's saying he's going to go over there, and
You need a bar. I can let you borrow my phone. You want to do that?
It's a nice guy if you let him borrow the phone. I watched this other one a couple days ago. I'm not going to play it right now. Where these two guys found a lady walking down the road trying to escape her abusive husband. She was just walking down a dark highway with no light, trying to go somewhere in Missouri. And like 13 minutes after they found her, she got hit and killed by a semi. I'm so glad that these people have the fucking heart to let this person use their phone.
Yeah, that'll work. What's a good phone number? All right.
go ahead, fuck boy.
Going straight to voicemail.
Negative, no injuries. Temple.
Do you have a preferred record company that you want to use, or just the next available that's going to do what?
It's going to be Arkansas 355, Zebra Mary Victor 355.
Here's another one. Adam 45, a little lot clearer than that. We got 210-15. Right. Get a ambulance, start again 16.
You're not taking my purse. Give me my purse. Give me my driver's please. Give me my driver's please.
I'm very confused on what's happening here. I'm not sure if this is the main driver or someone that got pulled over.
That's going to, you will have to pay, like, deal with them right here now. If you allow them to call one of their wreckers, it'll go to that wrecker yard, and then you can go through insurance, and there's nothing that you have to, like, out of pocket, like, for right now. So, you know, if insurance, you said insurance is valid, if that's the route that you said your nephew intended to take, that is how that typically works.
Yeah, and your nephew, whenever he gets out here, you know, he'll be able to make that decision or help you make that decision.
Yeah,
we'll figure it out. I got you.
I'll just go fix
Well, hey, we're just glad that you're okay. That could have been
it could have been so much worse. We were coming up behind and we saw it happen. It could have been so much worse.
We've got his info. We've got the vehicle info.
Two kids.
Good choices by y'all. Put your hands right back. Yeah, I'll take down. Get down the car, please. Y'all can see. Here's another one. 21015. Right. Get a ambulance started in 16.
She's in mine. Alright, I'm gonna read you your rights, okay? I'm Officer Ward, Benton Police Department. I'm the one who tried to stop you, okay? So as of right now, you have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you in a court of law. You have the right to speak to an attorney and to have an attorney present during any questioning. If you cannot afford an attorney, one will be provided for you at government expense. Knowing and understanding your rights as I have explained them to you, are you willing to answer any questions without an attorney present? Well, it's a yes or a no, man. I need a yes or a no. Yes? Okay. So what happened? Well, you had expired tags on the car, and that's why I was trying to stop you. All right? You're the one who decided not to stop, so why is that? Do you think they were safe with you doing 110 down the dang interstate?
Good man,
having a
not
wreck,
speaking.
continuing and all that? That's not smart, man. You want them safe, that's not being safe. Why do you run? You what? Well, I hate you feel that way. We can talk about all that, whatever, but yeah, is it from the accident? Yeah. Oh, it looks like we just got an ambulance here. So listen, how much pain are you in? Are you okay to sit here and let your kids and baby mama be checked first?
I just realized right now that he had kids and baby mama in the car with him. Oh, Lord, do not run for police with children in your car, please, for the love of whatever God you believe in.
I'll look into that. Whose car is that? Is there anything illegal in there? Any weapons, anything like that? I'm gonna have the kids checked first, and then Asia. It sounds like it, but I'm gonna talk to my supervisor. But it sounds like she's probably gonna leave with the kids. Car's gonna be towed. It is what it is. Car's gonna be towed. And as of right now, you're under arrest for felony fleeing. Okay. Yeah. Fleeing in the state of Arkansas, the way you just drove, it's a felony. Just breaking the speed limit is a felony if you don't stop for police. But so you got felony fleeing and a lot of traffic issues and endangering welfare of a minor ×2. That's going to be felony charge as well. Okay.
What's the felony?
Endangering the welfare of a minor.
This driver?
Yeah, this is a driver.
Driver, okay.
He's complaining of pain in his side and his leg.
Okay. You want to go to the hospital? Yes. What hospital are you going to go to? Okay. You know you're still being custody, correct? Hey, Courtney, he's wanting to go.
224.
Side pain, leg pain.
Can I ask you a question, sir? Not speaking to him.
The driver is requesting transfer to a hospital for side pain, leg pain. You want to see if the state unit can sit with him until we get a unit up there, or what?
I mean, I don't make your rules, but I say transfer him to state.
Temple. My lieutenant's about to be here. So
okay.
He'll make the.
Well, I'll tell you what, I'm going to work on the kids for now, make sure they're okay. Yeah, whenever y'all figure something out, just come holler at me.
All right. What's up?
I was asking, so where am I going?
Saline County. Yes. There. Going to Saline County Jail. So. You can roll your window up. Hang out here for a minute. Watch your knee.
So my question is, I was asking.
Hang on.
He's saying hang out in here for a minute as if he doesn't have a choice.
Will my kids and wife be able to get the food out the trunk? That's how.
Yeah, I'll look into all that. So, watch your knee. I knew it was a pursuit from the moment it started. He jumped over beside me on military at Smithers. I was like, I go to get behind him. He jumped back over. We're on. Went down Old Congo and everywhere.
Do you need for anything else?
I don't know.
Okay.
We'll wait on Apple. Do you mind? Let's look in there. We need to do an inventory so we can look in it to do an inventory. Let's do that real quick.
Hell yeah, that is the correct radio station for a high-speed chase.
I know she wants her purse. I think this is his phone.
The baby cup in the console is a nice little treat. The hand sanitizer, oh lord.
Simple. Oh, good God. Is this your phone? No. The red one's yours. Okay. 5102. On to.
Just before y'all head out, both of them have my.
Yeah. 10-4, yeah, we do have felony charges he's going to Celine on.
So yeah, both of them have my cuffs on, so we'll swap them out before y'all leave.
Yeah, no problem. We're probably going to let her go. She's just passenger.
Okay, all right. Yeah, she doesn't have anything going on. Okay.
Let me run her.
Yeah, that's right.
I was just telling her I didn't realize you were back over here. Not that it's super important, but just so if you wanted to charge him for it or whatever, the bigger one that's not 606 though was sitting in the back seat just seatbelted, not like not in a child restraint.
Okay. Yeah.
Obviously for endangering as well.
Right.
And all that
Yeah.
stuff, but,
Grandma and Grandpa are going.
5102. 51 name, date of birth.
Okay. But y'all got somebody that's going to go with him, so y'all don't lose track of him.
I'm waiting on Apple to get here. Figure out what's going on. Talking about the.
I'm bored. Bye.